Hello, hello. Just one moment, please. Still getting set up here. Nobody's in yet, but use that light. Making sure everything's in order here. I was just going through some rules. Ep.2. Gonna be taking small breaks throughout to try and snap a few pictures. So if you happen to see or hear that, oh, no memory card. Gotta remedy that. If you happen to hear the snap of my camera, that's me taking some pictures. Give me one moment here. Gotta get my memory card. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I need to get my memory card. Hey, I got 2 viewers. How about that? So, what I believe you're seeing on screen right now is a picture I took of my map. I put it up on screen because when I do my narrations, I'll be looking in my book. I won't be able to show you the map because I'll be on a page in the book that the map's drawn in. So I took a picture of it, put it up on screen so everybody can see it. As I was saying before, during the battle I'll be snapping pics. You might hear some noise of my camera snapping away. So apologies if that bothers anybody. But for now I can put the camera somewhere safe. Probably right here is good. So I've got the board's already all set up. Everything's ready to start rolling. I refreshed myself on the camp raid. So in the previous edition, last Saturday or Sunday, I forget what day, we went through Warband creation, and I rolled the first 2 campaign turns right up to the point where battle would take place. We then stopped that night, and throughout the week, after knowing what models I needed, I then proceeded to print and paint the encounter. So that's all set. Sorry for the sipping. So that's all set. I've already done that. So now I just need. Oh, and during my hobby progress in the middle of the week, I also rolled a few more dice because I intended to use the What About Very Old Friends Star of the Story ability, which means you roll up a new hero. So during the hobby progress this week, I did the rolling then, so I would know what model I had and get it painted up. So first round of the, let's read the Star of the Story real quick, so we know when he comes on. I think he's going to come on the first round, but I don't know where and how. Let's read that up real quick. So, what about old friends? At the beginning of a battle round, roll up a new hero and place them within 6 inches of any battlefield edge. They join the warband in the battle and may act immediately. After the game, the character will remain as part of your warband if desired. So, I already rolled him up. He'll be in my warband. He's basically another member. And during at the beginning of any battle round, I can pick an edge, put him within 6 inches of that edge, anywhere, and he acts immediately. So that is pretty powerful. We're going to use that on this first mission. We want to get a 5th hero, so we'll have 5 heroes in total. But alright, well, let's get to the narration. So before that, you can see my arms underneath the picture here. Open that up a bit. Try centering it a tad. And then opening it a tad more. There we go. I think you can see my cursor. Let me do a quick test and see if I can see the cursor. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think you can see my mouse cursor. That's a bummer. Alrighty. Anyhow. So, I've got some narration to do. Oh, what I was going to say was, at the beginning, so here's the breakdown of how I'm going to run things. So, every Saturday I'm going to be doing my campaign. And then Wednesday there'll be a hobby progress, what I've done for the campaign, and I'll probably stay on. After I've shown off what I've been working towards, I will then do something on camera just to show you how I do it, or whatever, paint or whatever I do. So the way it's going to work is I'll play the game on Saturday. It'll open up with the narration of the campaign turn the week before. So I'll roll, at the end of this game, I'll roll the campaign turn so I know what models I need for the next week. I won't narrate it as I roll it. I'll roll it on camera, write it in my book, and then throughout the week I'll make the encounter, printing up the minis and painting them and what have you. And then at the beginning of next week, before the battle begins, I'll written up a narration that I'll read before the battle begins. So that's what's going to happen today. Is I'm going to read the narration of what happened the previous game. The campaign turns the previous game. But because this is my first campaign turn, I've also written up basically all the world building stuff. So I've got about 2.5 pages of stuff to go through for the world building, just to give you a good idea of what the game is. And I'm going to cut this video up. Oh, that reminds me. Let me start recording. I kind of missed the beginning of that explanation, but it doesn't matter. I'll probably cut it anyways. So, I'll do the narration for the setting. Some histories for all the characters involved, except for the new guy I rolled up. I didn't write his history yet. And then I will read the narration for the campaign turn. Then I'm going to bring over the board, and we're going to play the game on camera here. Then we're going to do our end of game stuff, and then we'll play campaign turns until we reach the next encounter. And then the next week we're going to do the same thing. Read the narration, play the game, roll up the campaign turns, and I'm just going to keep doing that as long as this entertains me. And hopefully we get some followers out of it, or some people watching. Otherwise I'm just doing it for myself. But so far, actually, I got somebody follow me today. I don't know if Dub Hud's here, but if you are, thanks for the follow. I think that puts me at a whopping 12. That's it. I thought that put me at 13. Alright, so without further ado, let me give a quick pause. I wanted to come up with some way to flash on screen when I need to focus for cutting a video. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that, because later when I chop up the video I want to make it easy on myself. So I wanted to flash I don't know, flash something that'll get my attention when I'm editing. I'm not quite there yet. I could also just write in a notebook. Anyways, so we will go ahead. Let me get my coffee here. That way I can sip annoyingly while I do this. And yes, I'm drinking actual coffee. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin. So I've got sections, and I'll give you what the sections are going to be. The narration for the campaign turns is going to be in the style of journal entries of my avatar. So, let's go ahead and let's do a quick recap on who's here and what I rolled last campaign turn. The actual rolling. So we've got my avatar, Baden Urian. He's a human. He ended up with devotion and expertise skills, which is an odd combination. It's like a thief cleric kind of deal. He ended up with my partial armor, a bastard sword, a helmet. He also has an agility and combat bump. So he's pretty decent. Then there was Gaian on Kang. He's my Fey-blooded mystic. I am going with Chinese / Vietnamese, that whole area. I haven't quite pinned it down for my Fey, for my naming conventions. For all my humans, I'm going to do sort of Old English sort of naming conventions. And for my Dusklings, I'm going Nordic or Swedish or anything up in that area. And then for followers, I'm going to do more, sort of more modern. So if they're just a regular dude, it's going to be more of a modern English name. Alright, so starting with the Avatar, I already said, Badniarian, we already went over him. Then there's Gaian on Kang. He is a Fey-blood. He is a mystic. He has a staff and light armor. He ended up with a toughness bump. He also has a will bump, but he only gets to have one of those because he's not human. He's got Fog, Heal, Meekness, Shield, and Spellbreaker for his abilities. And then he didn't get a skill. Then there was Godric Yarwood. He's another human. He had the noble background. He's got the Warhammer. He's got the full armor and the shield. He's sort of my tanky kind of guy. And he ended up with a toughness bump. Then there's Asmund Lovik. He was my Duskling, so he's more of a Nordic barbarian. That's how I'm running my Dusklings. So I'm running my sort of PC player character Dusklings as humans, just they're going to be Nordic barbarians or some variation of a barbarian. But if there's enemy Dusklings, I'm going to run those as orcs and goblins. So he ended up with an agility bump and a combat bump. He also got a ranger's cloak. I ended up rolling a ranger's cloak, so he's got that. So he's sort of my wilderness guy. That's it. And then my two followers were Chester Cook and Leon Spencer. And I had a self bow on a hero and a self bow on a follower, so I gave both my followers self bows. So they both will have self bow and light weapon and no armor. And they're identical. They're followers. And we're just going to go over the hero I rolled up for the start of the story. His name was Aldred Sinbald. He ended up with a speed bump, so he's got a 6 speed. He also got 2 luck. He got a 2 luck bump, which is good. I managed to roll a basic weapon for his equipment, so he's going to come to the battle with a self bow. And whenever you get a new character mid-campaign, they come armed with a light weapon, unless otherwise stated. Other than that, he doesn't have any skills or anything. He ended up with a XP bump instead of a skill. So that's the characters. So now we can go ahead and move on to narration. And as you see, up on the screen is a map of the world. And I will reference certain areas in that. And you should be able to read it. My handwriting's not too bad, so you should be able to read what all the areas are. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the setting. So I got it broken down into sort of chapters, if you will. There's going to be the state of Gildus. If you notice the kingdom of Gildus in the lower right corner, that's the name of the kingdom. This is the northern part of that kingdom. And the city of Edinburgh is sort of the hub of the northern kingdom. It's not the capital of the whole kingdom, it's just the hub of the north. So, the chapter State of Gildus will explain what's going on in the northern part of the kingdom right now. There's the lands of Gildus. That'll pick out a few of the names on the map. So we'll be going over for Fallenstad up in the top left. We'll be going over Sovereign Ball in the middle. And we'll be going over Wessenhurst, which is the little town in the bend of the river there in the southern middle. We also will be going over the ruins of Doldhelm, which is my delve. You start with a delve on your map, so that's going to be the delve. So that's what the lands of Gildus will be. I have a calendar system I'm using, so I'll be able to date things. It's a created one for my old D&D campaign, so I'm using a lot of what I used in that campaign. It's sort of my world, so I'm just injecting this setting right into that world. So I have a calendar system. We'll go over that briefly. There's also the old gods, I call them. There's 9 of them. Those also come from my D&D campaign. And we'll go over some of them. Not terribly important, but it may or may not come up. And then there's a brief timeline of the Belusorg War, which is kind of what just happened up here, and is sort of fresh in everyone's memory. So we're going to go through a quick timeline. We're going to talk about the Belusorg people briefly, and then I'm going to go over the histories of each of my characters. I wrote up small histories for them. So there's going to be a lot in this first narration. In future episodes, there'll be less narrating. They'll just be the journal entries of what happened the week before. But this one I gotta kind of, set the plate. So, let's go ahead and start with the state of Gildas. And I'm just going to read right off of my writings here. If I can. I'll mess things up. That's for sure. So, the Kingdom of Gildas is in a sorry state. The recent war with the Belusorg has left Gildas in dire straits. The villages to the north were hit particularly hard and have been unable to recover over the last 7 months. Refugees travel the roads between villages, desperate for any relief, which seldom presents itself. The roads of between village... No, just read that. Let me start over. No, I'm not going to start over. Keep going. Edit that out. The steady stream of new faces keeps the villagers and militia in a heightened state of suspicion. Bandits prowl the highways, Belusorg remnants attack farms and villages, and a whispering madness has turned men into monsters. Danger presents itself at every turn to the reckless and unfortunate. The city of Edinburgh, capital of the north, has fared the best in the area. Edinburgh served as the focal point of the Gildas war effort in the north, and managed to hold out against months of siege, finally breaking the Belusorg against their stalwart walls. However, even the mighty shield of the north has felt the ravages of the war. As the city regenerates after the war, it left the surrounding towns and villages largely to themselves. Hungry eyes peer greedily from the darkness at the settlements in Edinburgh's countryside. So that's what's going on in Edinburgh. Basically, there was a massive war. It just ended about 7 months prior. And the city of Edinburgh is basically leaving all the settlements under its wing to themselves. They're going to get no help. And they're also reeling from the war as well. So that sets the plate. Let's go ahead and talk about the settlements of Edinburgh. So the 3 most prominent settlements around Edinburgh are Sovereignval, Forfallenstad, and Wessenhurst. Sovereignval is the largest settlement and has the only defensible wall surrounding the extensive manor of Lord Grantham, Duke of Sovereignval. The town fell under siege near the end of the Belusorg War. However, the manor was able to withstand the siege. The town around the manor, on the other hand, was sacked and occupied. Forfallenstad fell to the Belusorg mid-war, shortly after they broke the defenses at the Hakensskald Mountains. If you look on the bottom left, you'll see the Hakensskald Mountains. This is not in the narration. You'll see the Hakensskald Mountains. You'll see a small pass called Grey Pass. That curse camp is just campaign stuff. That's the known camp of my Curse of the War. And then you'll see beyond the mountains to the southwest is the Severai Mai Wastes. That's basically an extensive desert. That's where the Belusorg came from, and I'll explain that later. So, back to this. So, they broke the defenses. So, where is it? Forfallenstad fell to the Belusorg mid-war, shortly after they broke the defenses at the Hakensskald Mountains. The defeated population fled into the Elfhild forest, where they waged a guerrilla war against the invaders. The desperate fighting took its toll on the people in the town, and when the enemy was finally driven out, there was little left of either. Wessenhurst saw the worst of the fighting, changing hands many times over the course of the war. The town was sacked and razed repeatedly throughout the war until nearly the entire citizenry was killed and not a single building stood. Now it serves as a large refugee camp for the many victims of the war. The story of Doldhelm is the strangest of the war, beyond even the ghost stories about the Elfhild forest. Doldhelm was the first settlement to fall to the Belusorg, caught unaware after the blitz from the Grey Pass. The unprepared defenders were surrounded and overwhelmed within hours. When the commander of Doldhelm sallied forth to surrender, he was executed on the spot. This began the wholesale slaughter of the remaining militia and nearly all of the citizens. The brutality of the Billisorg knew no limits that night. The few survivors that managed to flee to Sovereignval brought with them stories of blood-soaked nightmares and frenzied bloodlusts of the savage Billisorg. A few days later, when the army at Sovereignval rode out to meet the murderous Billisorg, they instead only found the pitiful remains of the mutilated Billisorg bodies. Not a single living thing remained in Doldhelm. Only an ever-present fog clung to the cobblestone walks and empty ruins. To this day, the people of Gildis will not step foot in Doldhelm. And that's the lands of Gildis. So that gives you a nice idea of what each settlement is about. Got Forfallenstad up in the corner, top left. That was kind of the hero story of the war. They were able to maintain presence in the forest and just kept fighting the enemy and managed to retake back their town. We've got Wessenhurst, which is sort of bottom middle, right around the bend in the river. That was the sort of the unfortunate victim of the war, and it was completely destroyed, and is now basically a refugee camp. And then Sovereignval is the strongest of the settlements, and it managed to withstand the siege placed around it until the end of the war. And then Doldhelm is like a sort of a ghost story. Strange, unexplainable things happened there. So that is the lands of Gildis. Moving on to our calendar. So the current day, actually I'll get to that when I get into the journal. So here's the calendar. The calendar used in Gildis divides the 300-day year into 10 months, each which contain 3 weeks, each week containing 10 days. So it's 300 years, 10 months in those 300 days, and then each week is 10 days. So there's 3 weeks in a month. The current year is 1161 of the 4th age. There's been 4 ages. And then the 10 months are named in order from 1st month to 10th month. And these are the months. They are Nador, Non, Lycus, Rai, Zilla, Milo, Dine, Druxy, Sebi, and Zet. And I also have names for the days of the week. There are 10 days in the week, and they are in this order, from 1st day to 10th day. There is Mindus, Volden, Preus, Kelden, Trepton, Selam, Elam, Remtol, Gildum, and Etol. And the seasons are spring is the 1st month, so the 1st of Nador, to the 15th of Lycus, the 3rd month, middle of the 3rd month. Summer runs from the middle of the 3rd month, 16th of Lycus, to the 30th of Zilla, the 5th month. Fall runs from the 1st of Milo, which is the 5th month, to the 15th of Droxy, which is the middle of the 8th month. And then winter is from the 16th of Droxy to the 30th of Zet. So that breaks down the seasons. And I note that the months are named similarly to the 9 gods, and the last month, Zet, is sort of like Zil or Nilch, and it's also kind of associated with the atheism. My halflings are always atheists. And then I will note that the days of Preus and Remtol are sort of the weekends, and they will serve as like your days of rest and your days of worship, generally. That's the calendar. So I'll call it out this way. I'll make a map or something of or make a calendar to actually show on screen to be helpful for that sort of thing when I mention the calendar. Unnecessary, but it just adds flavor. Alright, we'll talk about the gods briefly. There are 9 gods, and the term for worshipping no god is known as Zet, essentially atheism. The 9 old gods and their symbols and domains of influence are as follows, and in order of their calendar month. So I'm going to name the god, the 1st to the 9th, and they'll be in the order of the calendar month. So we have Landor first, or Nador, the month. His symbol is the fist, and his domains are order, discipline, and chivalry. The month of Non, 2nd month, is the goddess Selenon. A rabbit is her symbol, and she is a goddess of life, beauty, and reproduction. 3rd month, or Lycus. And I did not write her name down correctly. The god's name is not Lycus. Let me see if I can remember. Can't remember. Or Zilica was her name. No, that's not it. Give me a moment to remember what the third god is. I do not. Oh, this is embarrassing. I wrote this stuff. I can't even remember it. To be fair, it's been a while. Let me just try to remember. So we have Landor. We have Selenon. Lycus. It might be Lycus is her name. It's the third month is Lycus. It's Zilica. That's the god of the elves. Okay, so the third month of Lycus, the goddess is known as Zilica, or Zilica. Her symbol is a willow tree. She's the goddess of fey-kind, mischief, and free will. Then there's the fourth month, or Rai, and the god is Ori. His symbol is the outstretched form of a man, so think of the Vitruvian Man. And his domains are humankind, xenophobia, and strength. Then there is Pixela, also named after Zilla for the month. Her symbol is the winged serpent. Her domains are magic, the future, and luck. Then there's Similarly, which is the goddess of nature. Her symbol is the acorn. Her domains are nature, sun, and water, and that would be Milo, the sixth month. Then there's the seventh month of Dine, which is Brimdin, the two-faced dwarf. His domains are dwarves, greed, and charity. Then the eighth month, or Droxy, is Feridrox. His symbol is the dragon. His domains are chaos, violence, and revenge. And the ninth month, or Sebi, is the god Sepidus, the symbol of the raven. And his domains are death, fear, and rebirth. And then I have some notes. A note on morality and worshipping of the old gods. The old gods are neither good or evil. Each god hosts a plethora of saints, angels, and demons, each which contains some aspect of the god's domain. A person would not always pray to a specific god, but instead to a saint or demon of that god closely related to the prayer's desired results. As for new gods, many have come and gone over the course of the 4 ages, but none have really maintained a presence for more than a few hundred years. The latest deity being Ni-Yehovah, having surfaced only in the last 4 years. So that's the gods. Moving on to the brief timeline of the Balisorg War. So the current year is 1161, so this timeline will take place between 1158 and 1161. And we'll go ahead and go through the timeline. So 2nd of Nan, 1158. A large host of Balisorg are discovered approaching the Hakenskald Mountains. Riders are dispatched to raise the armies and march on the mountain range. 11th of Nan, 1158. The Balisorg horde pleads for entry into Gildis. Stalling tactics keep them in the wastes while the armies muster. 28th of Nan, 1158. The armies of Gildis position themselves along the Hakenskald Mountains. Once in place, the horde of the Balisorg are officially denied access. The Balisorg attack almost immediately. The Balisorg War has begun. The fighting is kept to forays into the wastes and defenses out of the mountain passes. 12th of Lycus, 1159. After more than a year of attrition along the mountains, the beleaguered Gilidans, which is what I call the Gildis people call themselves as Gilidans, lose the Battle of Grey Pass. The mountain fortress of Grey Wall is taken, and the Balisorg flood into the Flonus Plains and the Riodan, which are those 2 plains right after the mountain range. 19th of Lycus, 1159. The town of Doldhelm is blitzed by the Balisorg forerunners and falls within hours. So that was the story of Doldhelm. The 3rd of Rai, 1159. In a similar fashion to Doldhelm, The town of Forfallenstad is lost after a few short days of fighting. Unlike Doldhelm, the militia and citizenry were able to flee into the Elfhild forests, where they waged a guerrilla war against their foreign occupiers. 7th of Droxy, 1159. The village of Wessenhurst is attacked by the Bellusorg and manages to repel the invaders. Despite this initial victory, Wessenhurst will soon fall and be retaken throughout the remainder of the war, repeatedly changing hands. The nearby River Bend will have its name changed to the Red River. So the nearby river Wessenbend will have its name changed to the Red River. So that bend that Wessenhurst is sort of tucked into was originally called Wessenbend and is now called the Red River, namely because of the bodies that would float down the river. 10th of Zilla, 1160. The town of Forfallenstad is finally taken back by the local resistance. The battle-weary populace set off immediately to rearm and rebuild in order to help with the war effort. 17th of Dine, 1160. The Bellusorg lay siege to the town of Sovnval. The town is quickly taken, however the town had prepared the manor ahead of time, fortifying it for a siege. Grantham's manor held throughout the war, never falling. 24th of Dine, 1160. The Gildan forces at Wessenhurst are finally driven all the way back to Edinburgh. Wessenhurst remains in the hands of the enemy to nearly the end of the war. 1st of Droxy, 1160. The city of Edinburgh is finally besieged. Although lacking a navy, the Bellusorg cannot stop supplies from entering the port. I miswrote that. Let me start again. The city of Edinburgh is... we'll start at the beginning. 1st of Droxy, 1160. The city of Edinburgh is finally besieged. Although the Bellusorg lack a navy and cannot stop supplies from entering the port. I need to rewrite that. Their strategy turns to an attrition. I was writing in a hurry. This entry did not come out well. Their strategy turns to attrition, and the daily casualties on both sides are staggering. This lasts until the end of the war. So, let me sum that one up. Basically, on the 1st of Droxy, 1160, Edinburgh is sieged, and the Bellusorg can't stop supplies from entering the port at Edinburgh because they don't have a navy. So they quickly turn from just sieging to throwing themselves at the wall. They vastly outnumber the Edinburgh population. So they just throw themselves at the war trying to chip away at the defenders and win by attrition. And this lasts for a long time. So, and the daily death toll is high every single day. More and more of the Edinburgh folk are killed. So that was what that entry was. So back to it. 12th of Sebi, 1160. The forces at Forfallenstad finally possess sufficient strength to participate in the war effort. They march to Sovnval and break the siege of Grantham's manor. The town of Sovnval is finally freed. The next day, 13th of Sebi, 1160. After securing the southern lands from the Bellusorg, King Eadwig arrives by ship to Edinburgh to take personal command of the north. So the king was in the south fighting the Bellusorg. They finally, on 13th of Sebi, they finally have dealt with them in the south, and the king goes to the north to take command of the armies. The following day, 14th of Sebi, 1160, the two armies at Sovnval consolidate their forces and march for Grey Pass. 27th of Sebi, 1160, Grey Pass is finally taken back by the Gildans, stopping the main artery of reinforcements for the Bellusorg. The force at Grey Pass is then divided, with one army remaining to guard and clear out the mountains, and the other marching toward Edinburgh. Throughout the march, pockets of settling Bellusorg are located and destroyed. It's not necessarily army, but they're settling. They're trying to make a living. 27th of Zet, 1160. The armies from Grey Pass reach the city of Edinburgh behind the enemy. The defenders, on the verge of routing, rally at the sight of the Allied armies and sally forth to meet the enemy on the field. King Eadwig seizes the boost of morale and leads the charge, hoping to end the siege. He is struck by several arrows and dies on the field. Despite the loss of their king, the Gildans manage to crush the last of the Belisord between the two armies, finally ending the war. This happens on 27th of Zet, 1160. That's like the last 3 days of the year, and just about the end of winter. Last entry is the 3rd of Nador. That's the 3rd day of the new year, 1161. Queen Ethelred assumes the throne, commends the northern forces for their valiant efforts, and disbands the armies, sending them home. The long process of rebuilding begins in the post-war North. Begins in the post-war North. That's what has happened so far in the war. So that gives you an idea of what the lands are like. We'll talk briefly about the Belisord people. The Belisord hail from the southwestern edge of the Severai Mai wastes. They are a hardy, stout, and dark-skinned people, totally foreign to the native people of Gildas. They often wear turbans and face coverings, leaving only their dark eyes exposed. They favor yellows and light browns and wear trinkets of bronze and tin. Their warriors utilize pike and tower shield, or curbing scimitar and hunting bow most often. Their warriors tend to hum a low rumble when marching towards the enemy, abruptly changing into a rapid, high-pitched yipping as they break into a charge. This has earned them the name Banshees. They originally desired only to flee their homeland and settle the empty plains beyond the Hakenskald. However, when denied this, they turned irrationally fearful and attacked immediately. It is still unknown what the Belisord were fleeing from, as none has ever confessed why. Alright, so there is all of the background we need. We're going to go into the people, my warband now. So, Bad and Urian, they all pretty much have small entries except for my avatar. So, this is Bad and Urian. Baden grew up as an orphan on the streets of Edinburgh. He worked the brothels at an early age as a cut-purse and thief. As he grew into a young man, he graduated into burglary until he was caught and jailed. He spent 3 years in the prisons of Edinburgh, forced to labor for the city. When the war broke out, he was conscripted into the prisoner battalions and offered to fight for his freedom. He served with distinction and honor in the Severai Mai wastes for the first year of the war. He was offered his freedom, but instead volunteered to lead a formation, receiving a commission as a low-ranking officer. He continued to serve Gildas well throughout the course of the war, fighting at Grey Pass, Wessenhurst, and the siege of Edinburgh. During the last charge, when the king was killed, Baden, down and at the mercy of an enemy soldier, when miraculously a dove flew into the middle of the battle and into the face of his executioner, spoiling the coup d'etat. Baden bested the man and survived the battle. From then on, he sought out the divine to explain his fortunes. He eventually found the new god, Ni-Yehovah, and became a devout worshipper. Recently, he was visited by a quote-unquote angel of Ni-Yehovah and given a holy quest. He began preparations to travel to Sovereignval immediately as instructed and wait for a sign. So there goes that. So he was almost killed at the end of the war. He doesn't know why he's alive. He's already got a lot going on from what he's seen during the war. So he is grasping on to whatever he can, and he thinks he was visited by an angel and sent on a holy quest. So he travels from Edinburgh to Sovereignval. Now we'll go through the other members of the warband. There's Godric Yarwood, who is our noble human. Godric served under Baden for the last year of the war and continues to follow him even today. Being the fifth son of a local noble, he has little prospect back home and follows Baden on his holy quest, albeit respectfully skeptical. Then there's my barbarian duskling, Asmund Lovik, a mercenary of the northern barbarian tribes of the Ishborn, Bjorn. He was hired by Gildas along with most of his tribe to partake in the war. By the end of the war, he was the last barbarian standing, and rather than return to his dying tribe, he sought employment in Edinburgh. It was here he was hired by Baden and will follow him as long as the gold and plunder keep flowing. Then there's Gaian on Kang, a suspected Fey spy. This half-blooded Fey was scheduled for execution the night before Baden was to depart. Following the commands of his god, Baden freed Gaian and brought him along on his quest. The Honorable Gaian will follow Baden until he feels his debt is repaid. And then my two followers are Chester Cook and Leon Spencer. These two childhood friends were denied the chance to defend their nation, being the only providers for their family. At the end of the war, their family hamlet was overrun and their families were lost. Now, with nothing left to live for but vengeance, they picked up their hunting bows and followed the mad prophet, or the mad preacher Baden, for a chance to skewer Belisor holdouts on their arrows. And that is the history of my warband. Now, let's go ahead and look at my campaign turns. So previous campaign turns, and we can go ahead and switch cameras now. We can get rid of the window capture. There we go. So we're going to put the board right here where my hands are, and I got my my little dice tray up in the corner here. Oops, that's that. Let's get that a little smaller. So in the campaign turn, it was campaign turn 1. We traveled to Sovereign Vol, which is in the Black River Valley area, and I rolled uneventful travel. So he makes it to Sovereign Vol uneventfully. Campaign turn 2, our local event was a town crier, which will give him a contract. And the activities we took were praying, which clearly Baden does, and study, which was a failure, by the way. So the study was a failure. We also traded for some items. And then we go ahead and we took the contract, which was a camp raid against organized robbers. Yep, and that's it. And then I rolled up my very old friend, which is Symbol, which he's going to be one of his old war buddies as well, but I haven't run it yet. Alright, and the date of the battle that's about to occur is 30th Dine, 1161, which is Etol, the day Etol. So 30th of Dine is the end of the 7th month, so we're 15 or so days away from winter. At this point, the trees have lost all their leaves, so I didn't have to paint a whole bunch of canopies for my trees, which is the main reason I set the setting on the 30th of Dine, right near winter. Alright, so that was the campaign log. Now let's go ahead and read the journal entries, the narration for what just happened in the campaign. And this is from the Journal of Baden Urian. The 19th of Dine, 1161, Gildum. After a week of preparation, I have finally... I'm going to read it in a different voice. 19th of Dine, 1161, Gildum. After a week of preparation, I have finally gathered the necessary supplies and personnel to carry out the will of Ni-Yehovah. The commands of his angels will not go unheeded. I shall deliver his judgment to the heathens of the lands of Gildis. On my life, the sins of the wicked shall not go unpunished. I'll admit, I do not know the exact nature of my quest, but my faith will dictate my path, and his righteous verdict shall guide my blade. After the months of melancholy and dark thoughts, I feel truly blessed that Ni-Yehovah has spoken to me. Praise be Ni-Yehovah, the one true deity and benefactor of all men. Praise be Ni-Yehovah, the truth and the purpose. Praise be Ni-Yehovah, the almighty God and Savior. 27th Dine, 1161, Elam. This would be 8 days later. My companions and I have arrived in Sovereign Vol this afternoon. The gray skies and light rain make for a miserable impression. The folks here seem deflated and sullen. I tried to speak to some, but they merely gave me a milord and scurried on. It seems the people here are still feeling the cursed war. Oh well, never mind them. I was sent here for a reason, by the grace of Ni-Yehovah, and sure enough I have found the first step in my quest. While searching the muddy streets for an inn, a young boy on a hay wagon was crying out about a job paying gold. Just as I took notice of him, The clouds parted and the sun flooded the dreary street. The Lord had my attention. After following up with the boy, I was directed to the local magistrate, where I was given my righteous quest. A group of scoundrels have been robbing travelers along the Queen's Road. Surely Jehovah wishes these criminals brought to justice. I shall mete out this justice in his name. 28th of Dine, 1161 Remtoll. I spent the day erecting a shrine to Jehovah in a nearby copse of trees, and quietly praying for his guidance. It became clear to me that the robbers needed to be dealt with, and I believe the Lord is pointing me to the edge of the Kingswood where the Queen's Road emerges. I shall search there first. I set the shields of Gildis, what I have come to refer to as our company as, to studying the scriptures looking for inspiration. They did so with little enthusiasm. They remain blind, but soon his grace will shine upon them, dispelling the darkness. Tomorrow we will visit the market for supplies and set off at once. We should arrive at our destination on Etol 2 days from now. Jehovah give us strength. And that is the narration. So, with all of that narration, almost 45 minutes, we kind of have a good feel of my campaign now. So, what we need to do now is switch out the book. And this is going to get moved around, I think, a lot throughout the game. I'm going to swap this book, goes over here. I will need to have my Warband up. And I've already done the deployment, with the exception of the Very Old Friends ability. So here is the board. And we almost got edge to edge, but we'll have it about here. And let's have the dice roller down here. And how do I want to fix that? That's going to stay like that. It's taking up a bit of room, but there it is. Alright, a little better. So let's point this right up to about there is good enough. So it's going to be hard to see because this is nothing like dropping the mic. It's going to be a little tough to see. Man, I'm going to be doing this really late. It's going to be tough to see because of the scale of the models, and we'll show you the scale of the models. They're small. This is my Archer War Buddy here. We'll go ahead and set him off to this side right there. So we'll go through deployment. So camp raid. This center piece right here is the camp. I split the forces into two. There's 5 here, and then there's 4 evenly spaced throughout this half of the board. Right here and here. This is my little centimeter ruler I made. It's also going to be my pointer. We have the lieutenant, the organized robber lieutenant that I rolled up, and one of the archers. There's 2 archers. And then we have just a bandit here, bandit here, bandit here. And then for the spread out guys, we have a regular bandit right about here. We have another regular bandit here, another regular bandit up here, and the other archer is right here. As for my forces, we've got leading the way, we've got Baden himself, we've got my mystic Gaian, we've got the Duskling, what is his name, Asmund, and we've got the noble Godric. So they're in a line coming down the road. We have a good feeling the camp's here. So we went ahead and sent our 2 follower archers to post up in this little area of scrub and rock. So for terrain rules, the trees will just provide cover if there's true line of sight blockage with the trees themselves. These little positions of these little bases I made that'll all be difficult terrain that you can get cover in if you're in them. There's another base right here and another one right here, and then there's the camp. So you'll get cover in all those. The roads are all open. There's a big rock you can climb on up here. And that's it for terrain. That's all you got to worry about for terrain. So we're doing just true line of sight. Nothing's climbable except this giant rock. And there it is. Alright, so, reading the rules, we deployed our warband. I rolled the distance at 14 inches. I did that on camera before, at the end of the, when I determined what the encounter was going to be. So everybody's at least 14 inches away. And now I get to do step 3 of Camp Raid encounter, which is sneak up. I may select any figure in your warband and move in 4 inches in any direction, regardless of movement speed. Terrain penalties apply as normal. Once that figure has finished moving, the closest enemy figure will attempt to detect the figure just moved. I roll 2d6. Modify by -1 if the figure is partially obscured by cover. Modify by -2 if the figure is not visible. Modify by -2 if the figure has the expertise skill. So there's some modifications to that roll. If the final result is above the distance between the 2 figures, the moving figure was detected. This step ends immediately, and I begin the first round of battle. Otherwise, I may now select another figure to move and repeat the process. I can move the same figure multiple times as I see fit. Unlike the AI, the player is free to select the same figure again if desired. Alright, and my objective is to drive them off the field. During the first round of battle, I will get the initiative. I get to put 1 initiative dice to 1, and then I'll roll the rest. And then it's normally from round 2 on. And if the warband figures make contact with the center terrain feature within 1 to 4 rounds, I may roll on the loot table immediately and claim whatever is rolled. The item can be used right away if it is usable in battle. And I may retreat over the edge of the battlefield with no consequences during a raid. If you fail to clear the battlefield of the foe, the camp has been destroyed. Next time you attack it, you will face the same enemy, but their strength and composition will be rolled again. And if you complete the objective, you receive vital information and a d6 gold marks. Alright, so we're going to do our sneak up first. We're going to use Baden because he happens to have the expertise skill. And we'll go ahead and move him 4 inches straight towards that archer. So 1, 2, 3, right about there. Or centimeters, but we're going to say everything in inches. Alright, so the closest guy will be this guy, and he is 12, and then about another 2 or 3, probably 2. So he's about 14 inches away, and further from him. So 14 minus no partial cover, so 14 minus 2, which means he can only ever get a 10. I can't fail, so I get to go again. We'll move him 4 inches right to here. This is Gaian, and again, he's got partial cover from him, so he'll need at least a 13, which he can't possibly get, because he's more than 13 inches away. So that'll automatically succeed. And we can basically move the warband right down this trail, no problem. I could have set them up closer, but that's just what I'm doing. So now we're going to leave our archers in place because we don't want them to. They got perfect line of sight on that camp. They don't need to move. We are going to move Baden another 4 inches to about there. He no longer has cover. He is within. He's about 11 inches away from this guy. Alright, so our modifications are -1 if partially obscured, we're not. -2 for the expertise skill, which we do have, so he's technically 13 inches away, so it can't fail this roll. So he is good where he is. I will move Gaian up the road a little further to about here. He is over 12 inches away with a partial obscurity, so he can't be seen. I can move the whole warband up. Just like that. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and move Baden around this, and he'll go another 4 inches to about here, And now we're right up on this archer. No cover. We are 7 inches away. So, 7 inches away, we have the expertise skill, so we'll just call his inches a 9. So if I roll a 9 or better, he is spotted by that archer. And, oops, dropping dice. 9 or better and he's spotted. We rolled a 7. He is not spotted. I may continue on. But I think once that figure has finished moving, close enemy figure will attempt to detect the figure that move. So now I can leave him there and I don't have to move him. He can stay right where he is. We're going to send the barbarian over here as well. So move about 4 inches to there. So he can pretty much see him, but he's in cover and he's over 12, so he's safe. And he's safe that way. Barbarian will move again 4 more inches to about here. And he is about 12 inches away from him and in sight. So I gotta roll. And if he gets a 12 or better, it's over. We rolled an 11. That's close, but not quite. So he's good. And we're going to go ahead and move Guy in right over here, 4 inches. Now, he's the closest figure, and he'll have a partial obscurity with that tree. He is 9 inches away. Partial obscurity makes it 10. A 10 or lower, and he is spotted. Or 10 or higher, and he's spotted. I rolled a 6. He's not spotted. We will move him in right behind him, and that'll be out of range. He's good. We will move Asmund again another 4 inches to just sort of behind Baden here. So now he's in the open. He can be seen in the open by that archer. He is about 8 inches away. 8 or higher. Here's where we're going to get spotted. 8 or higher, and this little mini game ends. We rolled an 8, so he's been spotted. Let's read the rules. That's it. Just end this. Move on to our first battle. So I get to set. Oh, I need little mini dice for initiative. In a second. I'm going to take the mic off. Mini dice. Wound dice. I'll make yellow my mini dice, or my initiative dice. Got some yellow dice for initiative and gray dice for marking stuff, wounds and what have you. So I got my 4 yellow. I am allowed to set 1 at 1 on the first round, so we'll go ahead and place my initiative of 1. It's going to go on Baden. And then I roll 5 dice for initiative. And they're going to always lie in the tray, even if I'm not around. So I've got a 2 and a whole bunch of higher ones. Now, I know that... Oh, I hadn't had the mic on my chest. You probably might not have been able to hear all I'm saying. I know if I give Guy in on Kang, he gets to roll. So he'll get the highest, because he gets to roll it again. Guy in on Kang gets the highest. Asmund has a 2 over there, so he'll get the other. He'll get the 2, so he'll get to act. Oops, bouncing stuff around. He'll get to act as well, and then we'll give the other 3 to the rest of them, which doesn't matter. So I won't even mark them. So, now, because of the Fey ability, I get to roll this over. And it doesn't matter, so he's not going to go in the quick phase. Okay. So now we move on to... Now I open the book up to the combat section. Combat. I also have spells. I have Meekness, Shield, Heal, Fog, and Spellbreaker. And that is a non-combat action to cast the spells. I believe. Let me double check that. Pretty sure the non-combat. Non-combat. Doesn't say. Dash interact. Keep down. That was a non-combat action. Either way, it's an... Oh, I gotta remember, will points can... I can move an additional 4 inches. I can activate in the quick phase regardless. I can remove stun and gain initiative, or I can add 2 to a proficiency test. I also have the story points. 2 story points left if I need to re-roll something. Alright. Spellcasting. Oh, I have my 3 strands. I have no congealed strands, so he can only cast 3 spells this game. Well, he's only got 3 scan. He might be able to cast more than 3 spells. He's only got 3 strands. It's a non-combat action. It's just not on the list. Alright. So, first thing will be activating of Baden. So, with everything done, he's wearing partial. He can move 4 and sprint 6. Can't sprint into combat, and 4 won't get me into combat, so I will just go 6. 6 will bring him too close. He'll stop about an inch away. Right about there. So he sprints. I keep bumping. Too many trees. Right about there. So he sprints right up into his face. It's point blank for that arrow. And we're going to send the barbarian right in after him. It's just... Actually, let's have the barbarian head this way. So he's got probably a 7-inch move. He's wearing light armor. Yep, so he can do a 7-inch. 7-inch brings him to about that pine tree. Right about there. So he's done. Let me read Duskling abilities in it. They get the re-roll a dice on a charge. They just can't parry. I think that's the Duskling abilities. And the Fae, which is my other guy, he gets like something. Oh, he can't be outnumbered. Yeah, no combat bonus for being outnumbered. And the Duskling is charge. He also gets counterattack against undead. And I can't cast magic. I can't cast heal on him. Alright. Back to the battle. I will... That's it. Now I get to activate the enemy. And is there an order in which you activate the enemy? Or you just sort of activate them. You could just sort of go with it. Where is my fighting chapter? Right here. Right after magic. Enemy actions. Skip move, combat. Ba-ba. Alright. They just sort of go. That's what I'm getting. And they try to maintain cover where possible from my archers. Yep, okay. Okay. The enemy will always act with ranged troops before melee troops, and then I assume it's however I want to activate after that. And leaders will always choose to attack heroes over followers. Alright. Let me take a quick picture of need my flash on, I think. Can't get around over here without knocking the frickin' board around. Let's leave the camera down, then I'll move around. And then I'll move back up again. So I gotta do enemy troops. Oh my god. How many times am I gonna do that? I don't think anybody moved. Nobody moved. Miraculously, nobody moved. I got a wire connected to my camera. Okay. That's him. Alright, enemy action phase. The archer will... I don't see another way around it. He's going to go ahead and pop him. Right in the face. Special, by the way, special ruling for my enemy. They're organized robbers. They have a speed of 5 and 2, +1 to their combat. 2 self bows. They have 1 armor, 3 toughness, no damage bonuses. If I hold the field, I get a bonus mark. And they have the skirmisher trait, so he can actually move that full 5 inches and still fire. So he's going to move back 5 inches. Which he's going to absolutely do. But he's got a squeeze here. I'm going to say he has to squeeze through right there, some difficult terrain and a tree. So you can't quite get away from him, but he can go 1, 2, 3, 5. He can make it about here through terrain. Because that 1 inch of movement will be 2. And then he'll take a shot within 6 inches. Needs a 3, gets +1. He needs a 2 to hit Baden. Oh, Baden had the pray. He prayed. So he gets some I forget the bonuses for that. Let me read that real quick. He did the Pray Town action. Used his devotion to make it successful. And what's that do exactly? I think it has to do with pray. You get to add 5 to post-battery injury tables, which is good. In case I get injured, I get to add 5. Alright, and the roll to hit is a 2. He gets +1 combat, and he needs a 3 to hit. He's gonna hit Baden. Baden has an armor of 2 and a helmet. Helmet does what? Still a new game to me, so this is probably going to be a really long battle here. I may do my campaign rounds tomorrow night after the battle. We'll see. There's the equipment. Should just look in the index or whatever, but here we go. What's the helmet do? I'm not sure if it's during the game or post-game. Oh, it's post-game, doesn't matter. Alright, so to pierce the armor, he needs a 3 or better, which he failed to do. Plunks an arrow right into him, takes it in the plate of his partial armor. Next will be a camp archer, who has 18-inch range, 12 to the rock, and 6 about 18 inches to him. Doesn't really have the best line of sight on the Mystic. He does kind of have it. It's partially obscured. It's the same. If the Mystic's closest, we'll shoot the Mystic. He's going to need a natural 6 to hit that Mystic. He's shooting through cover. And so he shot at him. He'll stay in cover. Actually, he would move to here and fire on him, because he's going to move to cover. That's their AI action. He's in cover, and he's just going to shoot, but he missed. Now we'll go for melee enemies. He'll go ahead and start going after that Mystic, even though he hasn't done anything yet. So, let's see here. They have a 5 and a 2, so he'll dash right at him. So that's 5 to there, and then another 2 brings him to just around the tree, staying out of the tree cover. So the tree base is going to be also terrain. That's why I'm moving around him. So he gets himself there. My leader will go for the barbarian. Why not? So he's moving through the camp. He'll reduce his 5 inches to 2.5. Which will bring him to about here. And then he'll do 2-inch dash. Will be 1 inch to just on the edge. So he's still in cover. Next up is This guy will go skirt the terrain for the first 5, and he'll move in for the last. So he goes about 5 inches to here, and he'll nudge into the terrain. So on that terrain piece, the terrain piece down here you can't see, this terrain piece, and this terrain piece will all give you cover. Otherwise, you get to hide behind trees. So that was him. He went. He'll run down the middle of the road here, right to. He'll actually tuck in right here. Just here to gain cover from the archers. So now everybody's going to be in cover. Well, he's wide out in the open. He would actually absolutely tuck into the tree base for cover against those archers. So that's what he'll do. Alrighty. He will rush out and make it to about the other side of this tree. No, he'll go right through the middle. So he's got 2 inches to here, and another 1.5 inches to about here, and another 2 inches to about. He's getting right next to that archer, basically. He has to move through some terrain to do it. This guy, he can't be seen by anybody. He's just going to mad dash. Gets to about here. And then this guy will move 4 inches, 3 inches to here, and then 1 inch to in there, and another. He'll stay right there. So he'll go just about here. Okay, he's going to maintain cover in those trees. That's everybody's movement for the enemy. So I've had my barbarian and bad has gone. So now we're going to do the mystic first. Mystic has line of sight on the enemy leader. So he's going to cast meekness on the enemy leader, I believe. First he'll move, and then he'll cast meekness. You have to move first before you take your action. So I'll have to see. Let's read meekness. Meekness. Incantation of 7+. Target an enemy. Lasts for a full round. Melee attacks do 0 damage, and so actually their attacks already do 0. But what's a lieutenant give him? He's a lieutenant, so he gets a bonus for that. Maybe it gives him bonus damage. I don't know. I need to look that up. Nope, just combat skill, toughness, and parry as a skill. And +1 toughness. What's toughness do? Parry, I know. Parry, actually I gotta look up parry for that matter. Toughness and parry. Yeah, quick references. Nope. Okay. I'll have to come up with a sheet for this. So, toughness. Let's look at parry. Parry, page 60. No, that's not where the skills are. Where are the skills for it? So, parry roll, page 42. Yeah, but that's not going to be all the skills. Whenever a character rolls a natural 1 when defending a melee, they deflect the blow, avoiding all effects of being hit, such as damage. Sometimes a figure has just the right item or training to deflect blows. Parrying is a combat benefit only available to characters with weapons, items, or abilities that grant it. Note, it's also the name of the trait that bestows this benefit. If such a character rolls a natural 1 when defending in melee combat, they deflect the blow, avoiding all negative effects. Parry. Wow. So if you roll a 1 on your roll, you just auto parry, which is nice. Okay. But it doesn't tell us what toughness does. I don't know where. It's got to be like an enemy traits or something somewhere. Features most vile, no. Maybe like common traits amongst the enemies or something at the end of this. Okay, here we go. What's toughness do? It's not here. Why isn't it here? Man, I wish there was somebody in the chat to tell me. Toughness. What does toughness do? Let's go. didn't have time to look up stuff. I was going to look up a lot of the stuff before the game, but I spent all my time writing that very long narrative. So now I'm at a loss for some things. I should have been looking them up before. I don't see toughness. Where do I find toughness? Not seeing it. Annoying. I'll have to Google it. Oh, here we go. Enemy cannot be stunned. Alright. Leader can't be stunned. Well, that's out of the way. He doesn't get any bonuses, so weakness may not be the way to go. So I will cast... What does shield do? Shield might not be a bad idea. Shield and fog. I didn't make a fog miniature. All ranged attacks are natural 6s. Do I have line of sight? I do have line of sight to Baden. So he'll cast fog on Baden. Just because I'm getting shot at by that stupid archer. So he needs a 6 or better. Let's see, 6 or better. I failed by 2. It is not, if the roll is a natural 2, the spell fails, 1 strand is expended. If the result is below the score, no strands are expended. So I failed to cast it, but I don't lose a strand, still have 3. He was actually supposed to move, so he's not casting that. He's actually moving into combat, it looks like. I already made the roll, though, so he'll... That was foolish. He'll move out of the way. I'm going to spend a story point to take back that roll and pretend it didn't happen, because that's not what I wanted to do with him. So, story point gone. Down to 1 story point. He will, in fact, because I was about 4.5 inches away, he's going to go ahead and move into melee combat with this guy. Because he's close. We'll actually go on the other side, just in case I can get that other guy in. Alright, so he's in melee combat with this guy now. Let's go ahead and fight him. Come on, fight him. I got a staff, which means minus 1, 2. It's got the parry skill, but it's a minus 1 to overcome armor. Which they do have a 1 armor, so I will need a 2. I need a 3. It's like he has a 2. So I'll need a 3 to overcome his armor. But first I gotta hit the guy. So when I'm rolling combats, white dice are always me, black dice are always enemies, and I roll them at the same time. I didn't read. I assumed the combat. Oh no, because you can pick stances. So they're not quite the same. Slightly different. So. Defensively, evasively, or furious attack. They went add 1 to either. Let's read it. Fighting defensively, I roll twice, pick the best roll. If they win, they inflict no hits. Fight evasively. If they win, they inflict no hits, but may move 2 inches and end the melee. Nice. Fighting furiously. The character rolls normally. If they win, they may add 2. What's the negative? If they lose, they suffer a hit. So nope, we're just going to fight normally. So we have a combat skill of 0 versus 1. So they rolled a 5, we rolled a 2, we got hit. He overcomes armor on a 2+. He failed. And I don't think anything happens. No negative effects. So, he is now the attacker. I am on the defense. Is that correct? Yep, that is correct. So, he beat me. He needs to penetrate my armor of 1. If he rolls a 1, he does not penetrate. He does penetrate my armor, and he needs a 4 to wound, a 5 to knock out. He knocks out my Mystic. So, Mystic down. Gonna lay him down here. That was quick. I'll take him off the table at the cleanup stage. So, I want to spend another story point. Whatever. He's down. That's what happens. Next will be... Needs to move 7 inches to get into combat with him. That ain't gonna happen. So he'll just move... He'll just move about 1 inch out. What about there? They went... Those two went... The archers. They're gonna need 6s, because everybody's in cover and over 6 inches. We will target... Can we see... Neither of them can really see the leader. He's kind of out of sight. So we're going to shoot at this guy right here. As long as he's with an 18. Which he should very well easily be an 18. That guy gets to there. No, I'd say he's out of range. He is in range of this guy. Let's go this way. So right to there. Yeah, he's in range. He's also in range here. He is in range. He's basically out of range of everybody. Well, he can move. He's got a movement of 4, but he's in cover, so he's going to move 2 inches to about here. Now he's in range. And where are their archers? There are archers right there. So if I can I reach their archer? Yeah, I can easily reach their archer. And I see their archer. Can't see him from him, but I can see it from him. Alright, he'll fire his bow at the guy in the open. The dude who just moved out. That would be... They're going to be interchangeable. Let's Chester Cook. Needs a 6. Shooting at him. He hit him. Wow. So he hit the guy out in the open. Well, not in the open, but in cover. On a natural 6, hits him. Now he needs to overcome an armor of 1. Which he does with a 2. His toughness of 3 and a 4, he's knocking him out. Come on, Chester Cook. A 5, we got our first down. Well, good shot. Good shot. Which means he will fire on the other enemy archer. He'll need a 6 as well. So he's here, and yeah, he can reach him. I need to make an 18-inch ruler. Alright, needs a 6 to hit him. Let's get rid of that dice. 6 to hit him. And he fails with a 1. He's out of ammo. But, this was the first shot of the game, so he's not out of ammo. Does he get just one more hit, I think? Let's read the limited ammo. So he rolled a 1 right away. That means... What's that mean? Let's read the limited ammo. Limited ammo rule, page 39. Limited ammo. If a weapon is indicated as having limited ammunition, a roll 1 means it's out of ammo. Unless this is the first shot, so it is. Some range weapons. Okay, so first shot of the game, he's not out of ammo. That was the time to roll an natty 1. So that's my turn. That was the slow phase. We go to the cleanup phase. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. So there's a morale roll they need to make, I believe. We're going to go ahead and get rid of our guy. Put our guy up here and put their guy right there. Let's look up morale, make sure that's still a thing. Enemy morale 51. Enemy morale. In the tracking phase, tally up the number of enemy figures removed. Roll d6. On a 1 or 2, these are morale failures. Remove one enemy figure closest to the battle edge. Okay, so on a roll of a 1 or a 2, an enemy runs away as arrows fly in to their camp, knocking out guys. Give me a 1. No, it's a 3. Of course it's a 3. These guys aren't cowardly or anything. Nah, they're not cowardly. I looked it up. They're not cowardly. They're organized robbers. Alright. That was them. We're not running. We're going to hold this field if it kills us. So now we roll initiative. So we don't get the bonus anymore. It's regular initiative rolls. Camera's got it. Here we go. We got 6 dice coming down the chute. 2 2s, as long as I don't bump it. 3 2s, so Baden and Esmond. Yeah, Baden's got a 2 and Esmond's got a 2. So my Barbarian and my dude each get to go. So Baden and Esmond both get their turns now. I think I'm going to catch that archer with Baden. Alright. And I'll give one of the failures. Nope, he's dead. I have to re-roll that, unfortunately. I only have 5 guys now. Unfortunately. I have to re-roll that. I had 2 2s. That was a good roll. So, roll it again. My mistake. I get a 1 and a 3. Well, I knocked the 1. Well, got a 2 2 and 3. 3 2s. So, same roll, basically. These 3 guys over here will be going slow. These will be going fast. Baden can move 4 inches and get within an inch of that archer. He will do so. And he will cut him to pieces for scuffing his armor with arrows. Alright, but he does get a +1 on his combat. But so does Baden, so we're tied. So, Baden needs to, when he doesn't get any bonuses for charging, that's the Dusklings thing. Baden beats him with a 7 to his 6. I also rolled a natty 6. I don't think. That's still... We were just fighting normally. Is that still... Does it say when they... It doesn't say when the enemy chooses any of these types of things. Alright, what happens when I roll a natty 6? I didn't do pushing and pulling on that last one. It doesn't matter. He got knocked out right away. The defender loses exchange. They must now retreat an inch. And I may opt to move up an inch. Is there still that... You roll a 6, you stun? Give me a minute to look it up. That was an old roll. I don't think it's in the new one. I don't see it. I don't see... I don't see if I roll a 6, I get that auto stun. I think that was in the old edition, not in the new one. Which is good. Yeah, okay. So that auto stun or whatever it is over with. Now I gotta roll to overcome armor. He needs a 2 or better, and I better damn get it. 2 or better. We got it. We overcame his armor. Now we have +1 to our wound. He's a 3. We need a 3 or better to knock him out. 2 will wound him. A 2 wounds him. Go to wounds or stuns him, I'm not sure. It's still really good. So we tied his toughness. One rolls a natural 1, the target is stunned. So he's wounded and stunned. Stunned character must fight a melee exchange. They automatically become the defender and the opponent. So I get +1 combat because he's stunned. Okay. So he's stunned and wounded. So he's wounded, and if he's wounded again, he's removed. Let's go ahead and put our marker on him for being wounded. He's wounded. Okay, so now we get +2 to his +1. Oh, he moves back an inch. Just nudge him to about there. And he moves up an inch for free. And we now get +2 to his +1. +2 to his +1. He's at a 7. I am at a 5. He won that exchange. The recover from summon after the exchange is fought. So he recovered, and he's now the attacker. But we easily beat him. So that's the end of the exchange. He moves back an inch. I move back an inch. That was the old rules. Let me just make sure that's still the way it goes. We don't just stay in combat. So I would say to just move. Oh, well, they won't follow up because I get pushed back an inch. Not him. He moves up an inch. He bops me out of combat because he won that exchange. No, I won the exchange. I bopped him out of combat. But that's it. No follow-up. The end of the exchange. I think that's how I'm going to run it. Now it's our good friend Asmund. I don't think he can get into combat yet. He's squeezing through those trees, so he's going to end up slowing down. Can't parry, but he may re-roll the dice. That's all he does. First, does he have to initiate it? When moving into melee, the following. So he only works if he moves into it. Basically, he's got like a furious charge sort of thing. Hold on. Ripping pages in my book. That's no good. There we go. Alright, so I think I remember now, basically. Got it. Got combat down again. Just gotta remember parries. He's got a basset, so he ain't parrying anything. Well, he'll move to about 2 inches. 4 inches puts him on just the other side of these trees. It'll be 4 inches. And he can't really go any further because that guy's right there. He can nudge up a little bit. Oh, I want to do this real quick. Pictures. Man, this camera frickin' cord is getting in the way of everything. And then put him down. Where is he? Where are my archers? Okay. Okay. Alright. Just wanted to take those, but I gotta take pictures of stuff when it happens. So that was my go. It's now their go. They got archers. He will move back. He's got about 4 inches to there. Can't really go that extra inch. About there. He will take a shot on Asmund, who is now in cover. Within, I think he needs a 5, yeah? Let's read it again. Because he's in cover, but he's within 6. So I don't know if he's within 6, it just doesn't matter, he's just automatic, he just needs a 3. Or if he's in cover, if it's a -1, I don't recall. That damn skirmisher rule means these archers can move around the battlefield, getting into all kinds of shenanigans. Alrighty. So it's got to be within 6 and in the open be a 3. So he is within range and concealed behind cover. You just need a 6 to hit, so he needs a 5 to hit. So 5 to hit him. He rolled a 3. He's going to miss him because he's toe in cover right there. Alrighty. Next up will be this enemy. Will start making his way right through the terrain. So he's got 2 inches in. And then about, you know, almost get within combat. Let me move some, just kind of back a little bit. About there. Move some trees out of the way. So he is 6 inches. You can actually go around. You can go 4 to there. And a 5th. Can't quite get into it, so it'll be just about an inch out of combat there. These trees. This tree was here blocking him. This tree was here behind him. Alright, so he goes there. Next will be... Oh, that archer is supposed to take a shot. He'll move in the cover up to 2 inches to the edge of the cover to get line of sight on my guy in the open. Needs a 5 to hit him. Needs a 4 to hit him because he's +1. 4 to hit my archer. Rolled a 2. Missed my archer. Thank you. I'm supposed to do him first. This guy, I'll come back to this in a second. This guy will just move the full 7 to right behind that rock. But not quite on it. Right there is good. This guy will also move the full 7. Or almost the full 7. And he'll toe in cover right there. Still got to bring my guy in. Should bring him in now. I'm going to bring him in right now. I can do it whenever I want. So where is my archer? Here he is. So, using the star of the story, I will put him right here, within 6 inches of the table edge, coming up this road. He's got a clear shot on him, but he's in cover, so you need a 6 to hit him. So he pops in, takes a shot. He starts within, but now he gets his regular turn. So actually, hold on. It's not going to matter. Actually, it will matter. I'm going to need a 5 to hit him if I come in from 6 inches from the edge here. Gets me to right about next to that tree. This is where we're coming in from. Right about next to that tree. Now I can move. He's got to move in a 6, so I can move 3 inches, because that's half. That brings me to about here. And just outside of 6. But he is in the open, so I will need a 5 to hit him. Needs a 5 to hit. And he hits! Nice! We'll need a 2 to overcome armor. This is my, I forget his name, Symbol. A 2 to overcome armor. Overcomes armor with a 3. Very good. And now we need a 4+ in order to take him down. 4+. We got a 1. So a natty 1 stuns him, I believe, but does not wound him. I just read it. Should have left it open. The roll is a natural 1. The target is stunned. So he's stunned, but it ain't gonna matter because we're not getting into melee with him. Moving on. So he popped in, he hit him, but he didn't take him down. Alrighty. So now we're gonna finish our movement. He went. Did he go? He went. He hasn't gone, he hasn't gone, he hasn't gone. He will come up 1, 2. 3 gets him here. Another 2 gets him to about here. It's going to be just outside of the benefit. Well, he's within about 2. So where is that? Ally within 1 inch. He's not within 1 inch. He's about 2. So our leader will, however, move in. He's got a combat of 2 versus my 1. And I'm the defender. He beat me. I have armor of light armor. He overcame my light armor. And he's wounding me on 4 up. He wounds. He doesn't knock me out. He just wounds me. So I am now wounded. And the defender. Next exchange. And I gotta best this guy right now. So he knocks me back 1 inch. And follows up. Got me again. 2 to break my armor. Easy. Come on, put the dice in the hole. 2 breaks my armor. 4 knocks him out. Doesn't knock him out, but he does stun him again. Push me back 1 more inch. Final exchange. Survive. He's got a wound on him. He's out if he gets another one. Final exchange as the defender. So he also gets a +1. So he rolled a 1 and I rolled a 6. I'm gonna break that. I don't get knocked out. I am still alive. Miraculously. But I did take a wound. That's all. He's just wounded. Gets up, takes another one, he's done. Alright, and then my last figure that needs to go is him, and he will scoot right into combat with my tanker. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and he gets +1 to my +0. I'm at a 0. 1. He's got a 4, I got a 5. I am now on the attack. Notch him back another inch the way he came. Move up. And he is now on the attack. I haven't gone yet either. And last exchange, he beat me, and I don't get to parry because it wasn't a 1. Now he needs to overcome my full armor. And I also have a shield which adds parry, so he needs a 4 to overcome my armor. He rolled a 4, he overcame it. My toughness is also a 4, he needs a 5. Oh, I'm going to story point that. Wait, I got Will, don't I? Who's got Will? Will does something. Yeah, he doesn't have will. I'm going to spend my last story point. And what do I do with it? I guess just re-roll a dice is what I'm doing. Yeah, story points only re-roll a dice. I'm going to re-roll that 6. I don't want him to get knocked out. 0 story points left. Re-rolling that 6. And it's a 2. So he doesn't knock me out. Rolled a 2, which isn't a 1, so I'm not stunned. But it's not high enough past my armor. Yeah, nothing happens. Oh, equal to or below. If the total is equal or below toughness, they are wounded and stunned. So I'm wounded and stunned, but I'm not stunned anymore. That was the end of the exchange. I am wounded. Alright, my turn. That was all of them. So we will have the 2 who knocked someone out already. He'll move all the way in. Oh yeah, he nudges me back an inch. He'll move right into combat. So he's about 5 inches out, so we can get within that inch. So he moves into combat. I have a combat bonus from my ally, so we're both at +1. And I will get +1. We're both at +1, so I overcame him on the attack. I get to break armor. He only has a light weapon because he's an archer. But I needed to help my buddy out there, so he stepped up. That was Chester Cook. Chester Cook stepping up. Just a follower. I need to see what the light weapon rolls are. I think they don't break armor as well or something. +1 to your armor against them, so there'd be an armor 2. So I'd need a 3 to get them. Let's see. Light weapon? Yeah. So they're armor 1, it's a light weapon, they're armor 2 basically. So I need a 3 or better. I failed to break the armor. But I am still the attacker. I nudge him back an inch, and that pulls out my combat bonus is no longer available. I still overcome him though. By a lot. And now I need a 2? A 3. 3 or better. I break his armor. That was out of the dice tray. Does not count. Break his armor and get over a 3. So he knocks him out. This guy's taking out 2 dudes now. Knocks him out where he stands. Way to go, dude. My archer, Chester Cook, is pissed. Family was murdered by the Belusorg, and he is not having it. Alright, and my other archer will toe in cover. Fire at their archer. And he came in this turn, I think. Did he? I think he did. He will need a 6 to hit their archer. Rolled a 1. He's out of ammo for the rest of the game. Leon Spencer, out of ammo. And he rolled 2 1s. Alrighty. That is the extent of my round. Yes. Yes. They roll morale. They have 1 guy down. On a 1 or 2, they lose somebody. Oh, can't get him, man. Can't get him. Alright. Chester Cook so far, the only one doing work. Oh, I'll put him down again. That's definitely picture worthy. 2 pictures are picture worthy. Okay. round? Next round. Clean this up. I'm out of story points. Totally out of story points. Stars of the story. This fight is not going well, so Camp Raid might not have been the best thing to... Should have said take your contract and shove it. Fortunately, Baden is listening to the gods in his head. They're telling him to keep it up. I got Lucky Break, which I might use. And then I can roll random tables, but that's nothing. Yeah, Lucky Break or random tables. So, can't do it. Lucky Break will be after the game. Hopefully I can make my dude survive. I've got bandages, but he's kind of in a... He should not be. He should be just out of combat. He could bandage and he could bandage. Let's read the rules for bandages. I've got one. I definitely want to bandage the Barbarian if I need to bandage something. I think that takes a non-combat action to use it. I don't want to do that. You use action to negate the effects of one wound. Yep, not doing that. He can't do it, and I think he has to do it. I don't think somebody else can do it for him. I don't see why he couldn't. Yeah, somebody else could bandage him. There's nobody there, though. So let's go ahead and roll. We gotta roll now. We are on 2. So I won't be able to catch him with Baden now. He'll flee. But let's roll our initiative. Not in good shape here. Poor shape. We got 1, 2. 1, 2. It'll go to... It'll go to the Barbarian against the... It'll go to Baden. Baden gets the 2. Everybody else goes slow. Oh wait, I got another guy. It'll be a 1, so I got a 1 and a 2. So it's Baden. It's gonna be the same 2 guys. Baden and Asmund. We'll do Asmund first. He'll charge. He's a Duskling. Can't parry anyway, so he gets to re-roll his dice on this attack. Okay. And there's another dice in there. I gotta get that out of there. He gets to re-roll on this attack. We are white. We are at a +1. He is at +2 because he's a frickin' lieutenant. We get to re-roll. We need a 6 to tie. We rolled a 1. It's a whole lot of nothing. We get nudged back. He follows up. He is now attacking. He beat me. He needs to break armor of 1. He needs a 2. He broke armor, and I'm out no matter what happens. And I'm just out. So another one bites the dust. Not good. Not good at all. Now, Baden, that was my turn. Baden's going to go in here. Can easily make it into combat with that guy. Baden's in a bad shape. He's surrounded. He is surrounded by 4 enemies. He's not, I don't know if he's going to make it. Alright, Baden first. He's got +1 to their +1. He just needs to get it. Baden failed. He's now on the defensive. Baden has no special abilities. Here, forgot to leave him on the board. Picture. Damn, that lieutenant is not easy. Man, I'm going to have to rout. I'm going to have to run away. Never. Baden needs to beat him to be offensive. He failed. He's still on the defensive. Needs a 2. Needs a 3. Got a 2, so no, doesn't break his armor. And that pushes Baden back an inch. And then Baden needs to win this. Baden failed it. And he breaks armor. And he just wounds. Oh, just stuns it. He's not wounded. 1 is not a wound. Phew! Baden survives. Now it's the enemy's turn. That archer is gonna needs a 5 because he's a 6 because he's in cover. Doesn't matter. I'll actually move behind that cover. Get a little further away from Baden. Right behind that cover, he needs a 6 because I'm in cover. Fails to hit me. Whew, barely. The lieutenant, they got him. They got him dead to rights. They're moving in. So he moves 5. And I would say he can't quite get there. He's also going to move through the cover, so he'll move to outside. He'll go this way. He's going to go after their frickin' archers. 2 to there, 5 to there. And you can tow and cover behind that tree. About there. He is going to go after him. 5 won't get him into combat, but it'll be like right in his face. It's not good. He's going to get shot in the face. Their archer gets to go. He'll fire on our archer, who's in the open, but not within 6. So he needs a 5. Rolled 6. Hits my Chester Cook. Chester Cook has no armor. So he's wounded and out of the game. And this guy, I'm going to have to route here. 1, 2, 3. So I can get about there and then about behind that archer. Kind of has to stay in cover. He's out of ammo. He can't shoot anymore. Bummer, dude. Bummer. Okay, that's them. Well, it's our turn. I'm going to have to find a way to get out of there. He's going, he can go. We took out 3 of ours, we've taken out 2 of theirs, and they're not routing. So he's out of armor. He'll actually go within an inch of this guy. No. Back, where was he? Okay, he'll move. He'll tow and cover here. About there, tow and cover. And he'll use his other action to heal himself of the wound with his bandage. So we have used our bandage. Then we got 2 doses of silver leaf, crying out loud. We used our bandage. We also have no freaking story points. Down to 0. Bandage used. I think it was well used. Okay, next up is this guy. He's going to shoot him with an arrow because he's right in his face and he needs a 3 to hit with an arrow. So he will fire an arrow. He's a 3. Hits with a 6. Needs a 2 to overcome. Overcomes with a 3. Needs a 4 to get him the fuck out of there. Got him with a 6. Boom. Point blank shooting right there by, his name is Eldred Sinbald. Aldred Sinbald. Aldred Sinbald. Taking him down. All my archers is all I can do. Can only shoot, apparently. I guess the statement in the book, an archer is worth its weight in silver. Point at him, will you? Taking him down. It'll be one. That's the end of the turn, I think. So please, for the love of God, we're on number 2 by 2. So please, somebody run away. The archer will run away if anybody does. Or him, he's actually closest. A 1 or a 2, and someone runs away. Ugh, still nobody running away. Enemy morale is killing me. Alright. We're down 2. 1. He's dead. What is he doing there? Oh no, he was that guy. He's Leon Spencer. He's not dead. So I've got 4. I only got 4 guys left. Yeah, 4 guys left. That's good. 4 guys left. Brutal. First 2 rolls. 2 and a 2. Keep one of those 2s. 2 and a 2. So that'll be me. We're gonna move into that guy right there. And hopefully kill the shit out of him. Really need to kill the shit out of him. Let's see. I got nothing that can help. I got a point of will. What's will do again? I need something. I think I need to save will in case I get wounded. I haven't been using it. I should probably look it up and make sure I'm using every advantage I can get. Who else has got will? Anybody? Guyan, but he's down. Just my leader. He's got luck. Will. Alright, look up will. I wonder if I could have saved Guyan with the will point. Guyan. Alright, well, I got sidetracked looking at my guys. Will, where are you? Will point, 53. I'm going to have to take a short bathroom break. I'm going for 2 hours. 53. Will, move inches. Quick action. Remove stun status and gain the initiative. The end of a melee exchange. Yes. Godric's going to need that. That's what Godric's going to end up doing it for, I guarantee you. Or you can move the additional 4 inches to catch the archer. First, we're even Stevens on dice rolls. And I fail. Now it's... So he pushes me back to there. Moves in. The other guy's in there, so now he's got an advantage because the guy's behind me and he pushed me into him. But I way overcome him and push him back into here. Now I'm on the attack. Thank God I got him out of there. So no more advantage, so we're still even. And I need to get rid of this guy, or I'm not going to win. I will lose if I don't get rid of this guy. Tie, I think, is nothing. I think the exchange ends. I mean, tie is a tie anyways. Draw, we each move backwards 1. So, good, that makes him 2 inches away, so he won't get a combat advantage unless he wins. Pushes me. He got my 2, it was his first turn, now we do their turns. We got their wounded archer, I'm still in cover, and I need a 6 to hit me. For the love of God, do not hit me. Do not hit me. He failed to hit me, thank you. Towing cover, way to go. Then, this archer will fire at my out of ammo archer. He's in cover. You'd rather fire at him. He's easier to hit. So we're going to fire at Chester Cook. Oh, not Chester Cook. Going to fire at Aldred. And he needs a 5 or 6. Rolled a 4. Arrow. Oh, he's got +1 to his fucking shoot. He hit him, who has no armor. Nothing. He's got no armor. He's about to get popped. So, 4 and he's out of the game. A 5. Boop. Out of the game. Got shot with an arrow. I should have shot at him. Foolish. Dude, that archer has knocked out, I think, a few people. There is can't see him down. Okay, we're not doing so good. We got 3 guys on the table, and they've got 6. We're outnumbered 2-1. This brute behind me is going to come up, pick a fight with my my dude, and no advantage. But we got the advantage now. But I am pushing him out of combat. I could just not follow up, but I will. Puts me out in the open, but what you gonna do? I'm no longer in cover. What is this? Isn't there a rule if you're in cover, you're fighting over terrain or something? I haven't been using it, so we're not going to start now. I think you get the counterattack. Yeah, you get counterattack if you're in cover, I think. We're not going to use that now. I'll have to read that rule. I'm the attacker. Oops, I rolled a don't knock my 6. I have to play dice as they let. Where'd the dice go? Where's the black dice? Oh, here it is. Please don't knock my 6. Also a 6. Tie combat. Push apart. 2 inches. That's way too far. That's a little better. Well, then he'll go, and he'll get into combat. Right at the edge of there. And he pushes him in. We're 2 inches apart, so he's got to push him twice to be in that combat advantage. Alright, so tied, combat over. Jesus, man. Baden, doing pretty good, actually, considering all that's going on. Baden is not doing bad. He'll move. He's out in the open now, but nobody's got anything to stop him, so he'll get to about here. And then this guy will go after the hero, always the hero. I don't think he can get in combat this turn. Move right over the terrain. Yeah, he can. You can go 2.5 right across the terrain. So no combat advantage yet, but if he pushes him, there will be a combat advantage. If he pushes him but doesn't kill him, combat advantage. Alright. So this is the lieutenant. He's got a +2 against my 0. Dice going everywhere. His +2 against my +0. He beats me. Needs a 4 or better to break my armor. Rolled a 3. Does not break my armor, but he does nudge me back. Follows up. And now I get a combat advantage, so he's only beats me by 1 now. I'm on the defensive. Or I'm on the defensive. So he beat me again. He needs a 4 or better. He does penetrate my armor. He needs a 4 or 5 or better. Oh my god, we're gonna have to peace out, man. Everybody's getting wounded. He's gone. Not good, man. Not good. End of the round. No enemies down that turn. This is not. How do you beat overwhelming numbers like this? Well, I'm already in it this far. Why would I stop now? It's kind of like that. Okay, so I get 2. I had nobody within the camp area. Alright, 2 initiative dice. Get a 1 and a 6. Obviously, my leader will go this way. And he will hopefully chop this guy in half for crying out friggin' loud. Chop him. Ugh, lost the advantage. Pushes me back an inch. Follows up. He's on the attack. He lost the advantage. Push him back. Follow it up. I'm on the attack. I really need to just knock this guy out and have someone rout. I won. Jesus, barely. I need You have to roll to penetrate my armor. Wait a minute. That whole exchange was nonsense. Man, I wish I gotta look back. What happened there? Got caught up in the rolling and I didn't. Let's see here. I don't think I can play back. Can I play back? Yeah, I can't play back. But I think I hit him, pushed him back, and then I never rolled to overcome armor. He hit me. No, he hit me back and he never rolled to overcome armor. I then hit him back and never rolled to overcome armor. I then hit him again and never rolled to overcome armor. So he needs to roll that first roll to overcome my armor. Yeah? Does that sound right? I hit him. Wait a minute. I wish I could play back. I can't play back. I can play back by ruining my record. Alright, I ruined my record. Now I gotta go back with wherever it ended up. I'm gonna go. I only have a little bit left anyways. User. Videos. Nope. Videos. Okay, here it is. Is this it?
Any of that explanation. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah. Mute that. Okay. And he needs
I
5
gotta
or
turn up
6.
the volume a little bit here.
Roll a 4 arrow. Oh, he's got +1
We
with
can't
fucking
see
shoot.
dice
He
roll,
hit him, who has no armor.
What was that 4 for? That was what's
Nothing.
going on
He's got no armor.
here.
He's just got alright, so he's got. Yeah, he can. Numbers
He
like
moves
this.
in there. Knocks my guy out.
Good dice. Chop this guy in half.
He moves in
Fire
there.
out friggin' loud.
I roll the dice. The
Chop
first
him.
exchange.
Ugh,
And
lost the
he got a
advantage.
6.
Pushes me back an inch.
I nudge back.
Follows up. He's on the
He
attack.
nudges forward. And then do I roll?
Lost. He
Nope,
lost
I just
the
went ahead
advantage.
and rolled the next exchange.
Back. Roll it up.
So we're
On
gonna
the attack.
rewind. That up. So we gotta rewind. Start the record again.
We gotta rewind to that first exchange. He had won. He knocks me back. And he has to overcome my armor of 2 now. Which he does. He needs to overcome my toughness of 3. Which he doesn't. I am stunned and wounded. I will now spend my point of will, right now, to gain initiative and remove my stun. Now I'm back on the offensive, but I am wounded. Now, the second would have been, I rolled it, but I can't, I'm going to take it because it happened. So then I try to overcome his wound for that second exchange, and if I don't, I do the third exchange as well, because I also won that roll. Alright, so second exchange, I overcome his armor. I did. And I go to overcome his toughness. I didn't. He's just stunned, and I hit him again, because I've already made the roll. And I overcome his armor, which I don't. Exchange is ended. He's not wounded, but I am. Okay. Their turn. Archer goes first. Toe and cover. He needs a 6. He fails this guy. Fails to hit me. And this archer needs a 5 because I'm not in cover. To shoot here. He fails. He's out of ammo. He's no longer an archer. Knock the stupid camera off. It is on the floor now. Let's get the camera. Camera on the floor. Back up. Right about into there. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. Actually, we're almost done, so we're all pretty much dead. So that archer's now out of ammo. That was everything. Now, he'll move back into combat with me. No, it'd be better to do the other way around. He'll move into combat with me. If he can push me forward, he's going to get the combat advantage. If he can win this roll. He did not. I push him back. I am now on the offensive. I've used my will, though. I don't have any more will left. Okay, I'm on the offensive. I lost. Pushes me back, but no combat advantage. He's on the offensive. And he manages to strike me. He needs a 3 or better to penetrate my armor. He fails to penetrate my armor. I move back. He'll move in. Kind of pushes me off to the side now. Still outside of an inch. He'll need a... He's go first. He wins. He pushes me back. He has to penetrate my armor. He does not. Tied on a 2. Pushes me back into cover, which is good. Now we another exchange. No advantage yet. We're still tied. He wins again. He has to penetrate my armor of 2. He does, and he needs to wound me on a 4 plus 3. I'm stunned and wounded. I was already wounded, which means I am out. Fighting to the end. He'll come in first. And we're going to fight to the very end, so he moves in. If he gets a push, he'll push him into him. So he's got a bonus. He does. Pushes him into him. So he has got no armor. Wounds him on a... Does not wound. Does not wound? He does wound. He's got a wound, but he's not stunned. Now he's got a +2 combat advantage versus 0. And he hits him again, and unless it's a 1, he's gone. It's not. So he's out. That's it. Whole warband wiped. Couldn't take them. Not take these guys. Alright, so that's what happened. We do not hold the field, and our whole warband is pretty much wiped out. Ugh, not good. I used all my story points. Not good at all. Well, you can't win them all, but it would have been nice to not get totally wiped out. So the bandits hold the field. A bunch of uppity adventurers thinking they're going to show them what's what. Well, that was that. Let's go ahead and move this out of here. All that week of work for that. Alright. Let's go ahead and bring our pathetic crew. We got a lot of gear and stuff that hopefully will keep a majority of these guys alive. I gotta move these guys off to the side. Let's bring the camera down. Everybody's been knocked out. Let's bring up this over there. Right in big letters. Battle lost. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do the post-battle sequence. We're getting nothing. We're getting nothing for this. We're not going to lose my avatar. There's no way, because he's got prayer, he's got a helmet, he's got silver leaf. He's got to be okay. Prayer gives him +5. Alright, so let's read the, what happens. We got messed up. Took out 3 of them, and that's it. If you complete your objective, you receive... We didn't complete our objective. We received nothing. In the contract, we also received nothing. Man, those organized bandits were tough. Okay, we need to go to the post-battle. Okay, so, battle lost. Resolution, we got nothing. We're not reducing anything. So we didn't get any adventure milestones. We didn't victoriously raid or enemy threat encounter. We did not victoriously ride patrol. We didn't defeat anything. Aberration, anyways. No unique foes were defeated. We did not take down the lieutenant. We did not finish a contract. So we collect no adventure points. So I gotta write this. Yep, right here. Collect adventure points. Zero. Big fat goose egg. No adventure points. Check for injuries. Everybody was injured. I do have prayer. I get +5 to my leader's roll. We're going to do him first. We're going to need this candle to be out of the way. I'll put this nicely back. Take a quick picture of all them laid out on the table, waiting for their injury rolls here. Alrighty. That's the Warband waiting for their injury rolls. Whole wipeout to 3, and that's it. Couldn't have gotten a sing. I should have got at least 1 route. That might have made a big difference. But I got no routes. I used all my adventuring points, or all my what is it? Not adventuring points. I used all my story points. Alright, well, let's go ahead and check for injury. Check for injury. That will be Baden first. Baden, you're up. We'll get +5 to this roll because I prayed. It's a good goddamn thing I did. Alright, Baden. Hero injury table, D100. I rolled a 86 +5, which is a 91. Knocked out. Nothing bad happens to Baden, of course. Where are you, Baden? There you are. Stand your ass back up. Next up is... We need to do like an easy mission or something. Ride patrol, I think. Next up is Guyan. Guyan or Guyun? I forget what I named him. Guyan? Guyan. Guyan. Equals 1D100. He's got nothing. I got 2 doses of Silver Tree, which will allow me to re-roll if I'm not mistaken. To re-roll. And luck. He didn't get luck. Alright, Gaian. Roll a 66. Item damaged, which is randomly select an item. Alright, 66. What's it else count as? Is that it? Yeah, so item damaged. So we roll a random item on Gaian's person. Gaian has a staff and a light armor, 50-50. Say light armor. It's kind of hard to track this roll on the camera, but or on the notebook. But we'll say 50-50. Staff is a 1, 2, 3. Light armor is a 4+. Light armor is damaged. Okay, Gaian, your light armor is damaged. Otherwise, back in the saddle again. Next up will be Godric. You might get enough experience to level somebody, though. I don't think you don't get experience if you get stomped out. Alright, Godric. Ooh, 90. Don't bump the dice! Oh, thank God. 90. That'll be knocked out. Luckily, we're rolling nice and high, so we might have gotten beaten up, but it might not be any worse for wear. I'm just hoping I can lose one guy. I did get a bonus hero, so I had to use my star of the story. All right, next up will be Asmund. D100 equals. How's Godric gonna? How's Baden gonna take this loss? It's gonna say clearly the Lord didn't want me to do it. All right, Asmund's roll. Asmund rolled a 5, which means he's dead as shit. But I had a story point, but I'm not doing that. Definitely gonna roll a silver leaf tree or silver leaf. Silver leaf reroll. Can't reroll a reroll. If this fails, then I'm in big trouble. Silver leaf reroll. 72. It'll be item damaged. Oh, that's Asmund. Okay. Hopefully it's his shitty light armor. Oh, he's got a ranger's cloak too. Could be his ranger's cloak. That would be a bummer. Alright, Asmund's got, let's see. Asmund's got Bastard Sword, Light Armor, Ranger's Cloak. In that order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6 is the Ranger's Cloak. 1 or 2 is his Bastard Sword, and that would not be good. That'd be bad. It is his Light Armor. Nice. Couldn't have been a better roll. Oh, damage. No, I'm not writing Light Armor next to it in parentheses. It's already Light Armor. Damaged. Okay. Light armor. No, damaged equipment, and then write light armor. Oh, item damaged, and then write light armor. So it's looking like we lost. Well, it's not. We're not done rolling yet. I could have lost my new dude. We lost, but so far all we lost is light armor. The core 4 dudes are still doing. They're fine. They're up and going to be in the next fight. Next is Aldred. That's spelled weird because it's Old English. Aldred. Aldred equals 1d100. Don't die. We just got you. That'll be my luck. Just got you, and you're gonna end up dying. $34. What is 34? Moderate injury? We'll take that. 34. We'll take a moderate injury. That's a 36. 34. That'll be a D6 for injury time. I'm going to write that. 1d6. Gonna be nice and low. A 1. Very good. What is it? Turns? How does that work? Let me read it. Recovery time is the number of campaign turns the character must miss. He must miss 1. That's it. This is 1 campaign turn. 1 turn. Which is really nothing. So, he'll be back in it, I'm sure. So he's down for a turn. Got a little dice here. Doesn't really matter. So you got that going on. Oh, cord. Come on, cord. Quit cording around. Alright, hold on. Jiminy Christmas. There we go. Yeah, we got those. Those 5 are good. That guy's got 1 campaign turn. Got those two childhood friend archers. They're not gonna make. They're definitely gonna die. There's no way they survive. We need a 76 or higher for them to just be knocked out. Otherwise, we're getting damaged items, but chances are death. So we've got Chester Cook, who did the bulk of the work. Chester equals 1d100 equals. Alright, Chester. You need a 76 or better. I got some silver leaf for you, and I got a star of the story. I think I'll save that stars of the story, probably. I'll use the silver leaf tree for you. Oh, I got a 20. Can I knock it? I did, into a 1. Jesus. Alright, Chester. Yeah, you're dead. Deader than dead. Dead. And all he has is a self bow. Oh, he's got a light weapon. Dead. On a 1, 2, or 3, it's the self bow that's damaged. It's the self bow damaged. That goes into my stash. Same with the armor. Stash. Self bow. Damaged. And no armor. He's got light weapon. Sorry, Chester. You did. And then Leon. Does Leon survive? He'll be very distraught if his buddy Chester's dead. And he happens to pull through. Okay, you need a 76 or better to be unharmed. Come on, baby. You're rolling 85. He's unharmed. Well, physically. I'm knocked out. So, Chester was the dude with the bigger, so it's this guy. It's the guy with the bandana. Chester was the guy with the eye patch. You did, Chester, you did. Just knocked out for Leon. Poor Leon. So only one guy was killed, and he was an archer, and we happened to get an archer. So go ahead and strike Chester from the record. Get rid of your armor. Get rid of your humanness. Might be able to get another race. I'll have to check it. Okay, get rid of your speech +1. You are dead as hell. Okay, back down to 6 people at least. Oh, we used the silver leaf. I didn't want to use it for a jamoke. I already rolled it. Did we'll try to save Chester. Why wouldn't we? It would have been Chester who was knocked out. Yeah, we'll use the silver leaf to try to save Chester. Retro active. Silver leaf. For Chester. There's no reason not to. It costs like it doesn't cost that much. No reason not to for Chester. Equals 1d100. Can we save him? Can we save him with that last stealth silver leaf? 76 or better. 72. Item damage. And then just so happens that we already damaged the self bow, so we'll leave that as is. Self bow is damaged, light weapon is intact. So Chester survives, actually. Actually survives and is ready for the next fight. But he does have a damaged self bow. And that was our last dose of silver leaf. Chester Cook. I think that was his name. Human. Self bow damaged. Light weapon. Yeah, dude did too much work for us to just let him die. No armor. Okay. Annotate that. What did I roll? A 72. That is item damaged. And self bow. Alright. Let's take quick stock of what just happened. Every one of my guys got knocked out. I used both my silver leaf. What else did I do? Got lucky on a couple. Everybody's up though. Everybody's up and moving. Nobody died. Chester almost died, but decided to use some silver leaf on him. Turns out he just sat on his bow and broke it in half. The only one who was actually injured was the new guy. He's only out for a campaign turn. We can definitely wait in town for that because we are in town. Alright. Okay. Let's go on to the next thing we gotta do. Check for advancement during the campaign. Blah, 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 blah. We didn't hold the field or achieve an objective or kill enemy leaders. Okay, so we go to page 190. Oh, so I gotta write this down. Check for advancement. That's also gaining experience points. Well, we all survived. A lot of equipment was damaged, though. Check for advancement. Alright, let's go through the list. Where's the list? Oh, 90. It's weird that it wouldn't be in order. Alright, hero advancement. After each encounter, each hero earns experience points as follows. We didn't hold the field or achieve the objective. will get none. We survived the encounter, so everybody gets +1 for heroes. All my heroes get +1 experience points. We live. Enemy leader slain. We did not slay any leaders. Okay. What about... That's just heroes. Alright, so everybody gets +1. So Baden, Asmund, Nguyen, or Guyan, Godric, and the new guy, Aldred. +1 XP each. Okay, now they all get experience points. What about my followers? What do they get? Followers not rolling. For each follower who remains on the table at the end of the battle, nobody does. None of them get it. Yeah, nobody gets it. Alright, so that's it for check for advancement. Everybody gets 1. Does anybody advance? 1, 1, 1. Nobody had 3. So we'll go ahead and mark that. So Baden gets to 2. Guyan gets to 2. Godric gets to 2. Asmund's at 3. I'll probably train him this turn to get him up to 4. And Aldred is at 2. Okay, I'm almost certainly going to train Asmund to the next level. Alright, next. We did that. Next up is... Let's say next one more time. Let's say next one more time. Check for advancement, did it. Roll for loot. We didn't achieve the objective. We didn't do anything. We got beat. We never held the field. We don't roll for unusual finds. So actually I gotta roll this. I'll write this. So, roll for loot. Loot equals not available. Roll for unusual finds, not available. Not available. This is getting into the 3 hours, almost at midnight. No unusual finds. Settle in. Settle in equals Sovereign Vault. Sovereign Ball. So we settle into Sovereign Ball and then news travels. $1D100 equals. I like this little table. I want to do this little table here. This is roll below, see what happens, see what news reaches you from other lands, apply the result immediately. So this roll is a 28. 28 is old friend sends a letter. If you have any friends on your roster sheet, add a story point. I do not. If you have no friends in the region, add an adventurer friend to your Warband roster sheet. Okay, so I need a spot to keep friends. Where am I going to keep? Right here. Friends. Adventurer. I don't know how many I'm going to get, but that's where they'll stay for now. What's it called? Old friend sends you a letter. plus an adventurer friend. Alright. What's next? That is it. Heroes don't advance. Followers don't advance. Nobody gains loot. No cool loot. No, we're not rolling on an enemy plan. I think that's it. I think that's the end of the campaign turn. That's it. Is it? Alright. Ends the campaign turn. Hot damn. I need to start writing down the dates too. So that was on the 30th? I don't remember. It's written down somewhere. Oh, it's in my it's in my notes. My journal notes. I'm gonna start tracking dates. Well, it's the 30th. The battle takes place on the 30th of what, Dime? So we're moving into Droxy. I wrote it down too, probably. 30th of Dine. Date of battle, 30th of Dine. Turn to Sovereign. All on. So it took 2 days to get here, it'll take 2 days to get back. On 2nd of Droxy. Second of Droxy, 1161. Okay. And campaign turn 3. Oh, I wanted the date. Well, we'll write the date first. So it'll be the 3rd. It'll be the next day. 3rd of Droxy. Is when this campaign's turn starts. Warband starts in Sovereign Ball. And starts in Sovereign Ball. And we write down our threats, which are still maxed out. So Whispers is a 6. Ruin is a 5. Curse is a 5. Yep, and that's it. Move on to local events. That'll be 1d100 equals. Alright, we did it. On to the second campaign turn. Or third campaign turn, my mistake. Got a 55, and that will be, I gotta flip to the page. Got 7 in our warband now. Where is it? Town events, 55 will be field work needs doing. You may spend any to help with field work. You receive 1 gold mark for the first activity, 2 more for the second. In a hamlet, if you spend 2 activities doing this, they would also pay your upkeep costs for the campaign turn. And 2 more for the second. I can make 3 gold marks by doing field work. Well, let's write it. Field work needs doing. It's probably not what we're going to do. I also know we need to repair. We didn't get any coin though. So we only got 3. Somebody might become disgruntled in about 1 minute. Alright, upkeep. That'd be 1d3, because there's 7 of us. It's 1d3 plus 1. We only have 3 gold crowns. Okay, here we go. Phew! 2 plus 1 is 3. Minus 3 gold marks, not crowns. We're at 0 gold marks. Write that big fat 0. We got no gold marks, no story points, no adventure points. We do have a friend though. It's not all bad, I guess. Healing up. If any characters are injured, they will need to recover for a certain number of campaign turns. Blah blah blah. If you paid your upkeep costs, all recovering characters may reduce it. Blah blah blah. If you do not pay, only a single one. If you have any tonics, so what happens if you're like good? Recovery time. So 0 can't. If you do not, it doesn't. Where does it say it? Maybe it explains it in Visit the Healer. Visit the Healer. Possible. So they can't participate in this battle. Healing up. And that'll be, what's this? So if I have to try to stay in town another turn, I will. I'll absolutely do that. Healing up. I don't have any money for upkeep. Alright, we gotta consider what we're gonna do here. So healing up. And it's Eldred. Eldred. 0. Eldred 0. Turns. Yeah, okay, good enough. And campaign activities. Should I write that exactly? Campaign activities. Okay. Look at blacksmith. Does it cost money? If you have damaged items, you may visit the blacksmith, have them repaired. Costs money. Right? We're in town. What? We're in the blacksmithing town there. We're in a manor. Are you going to repair up to 2 items a turn? We have no money. We are in a town. Basic weapons cost a 1. So we want that self bow repaired. So what we're gonna do, most likely, I should have wrote what happened to that contract. What's the contract say? We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. We shouldn't. We should not go back. What's that 3? Is that how many? Is that how long? Where's the contract? Where did I determine that? It's gonna be these organized robbers again. And they're kind of too tough. I don't think we're gonna mess with them. Where did I determine the contract? Determine contract. Source equals townsfolk type of the chase-off group. Carry out contract. Chase-off group 3. I think I have 3 turns to do it. So it's chase-off group. So I got 2 more turns. So we can hold off on that. We may or may not try to complete that. What I can do now is I can work the field. Why not just do hard work? What's the difference? What is hard work? Help the town guard. Hard work. Earn 1 gold mark and pay, and then take a craft and receive an additional. So I get 1 regardless, so why not take a craft check to get 2? Then I can do that, I can repair a basic and have another gold left over. Oh, we can help the town guard and not pay campaign costs. Which will retroactively gain us. Why would it always do that? Why would I ever do hard work, ever? Help the town guard. That's what you do. That's what we're doing. Yes, help the town guard. It's going to be weird to narrate that, but... What did I lose? 3 gold marks, so I get them back. It's 3 gold marks. And I believe now when I take this, I can do 2 items. When you visit the blacksmith, repair 2 items. Okay. So we have damaged what? So we're going to visit the blacksmith. And that is... So we get to take a crafting test. We need a 9. Nobody has crafting, as far as I know. Nobody has crafting, so we need a 9. We get to repair a 3rd item, essentially. We failed. We have 6. Fail. Go. Minus 2 gold marks. And repair self bow and light armor. Self bow and light armor, right? So light armor is 1 in a town. Basic weapons are 1 in a town as well. So, Asmund Lovick, yeah? Yep, Asmund Lovick repairs his light armor. And Chester Cook repairs his self bow. So basically, we're pretty much back up to snuff, with the exception of Nguyen has broken armor. It's only light armor, not a huge deal. That's it. Nguyen, that's it. Nguyen has broken armor. Damn. Alright, so that's that. Next. Research. Research. How do I write it up here? There's a roll I can make. I thought there was. Let's read it. Connections, that's it. So I'll just write connections rather than that research. Connections equals D100. We have a friend now, so stuff can handle that. May undertake a quest. You want a 91 or better? We're looking for a quest. Ooh. That's a 91. That's a 91. Is this camera upside down? I'm looking at numbers backwards all day? All night? It's not day. It is. It's flipped vertically. There we go. Now you can tell what the number is. It was all night. So I rolled the 91. How about that? That should happen for real. Quest. The quest equals, let's see, page 105. Let's determine our quest. Clearly, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold back. Well, we want the full crew. Quests are not time sensitive. You may complete one task, carry out a different activity. Okay, good. So, quest equals. There's a couple different things. So, quest will be colon and location equals 1D100 equals. Where is it? It is a 68. 68 is place a new location in the wilderness. Okay, new wilderness location. Now, does that create... That's got to create an area, map area. Place a new location. What the heck was that? My phone just died? Oh no, my phone died. It's plugged in. Huh, bummer. My phone died, but at least my my dice are still going, so you can't see me right. Ho hum, you can't see me write the words down, but you can hear me narrate it, so we'll carry on. Alright, so new location. A random existing map. Yeah, it creates a new map area. New wilderness location. In. Hey, good thing the map's up. In. This will be a new location in. We've got 2 plains. The Riodan. Yeah, Riodan. I don't know what to call it yet. Quest location, I guess. Alright. Can't believe my phone died. I have it plugged in to charge. I don't know why. I don't know why it died. Yeah, it's at 0%. What you gonna do? Alright, in the Riodan. Now I get to write the Riodan plains. A new location. Sure, I'll get more information on that later. Okay, Riodan. Place a new location. Doesn't tell you what the location is. Task quest. So I guess you just write quest location. I guess. And I don't determine the phone until I get there. Good. Quest task. So I just know there's a location in the Riodan. A quest location in the Riodan. Task. Alright, task equals 1D100. And I have to narrate everything. Alright. Let's see. We've got a 44. Decipher ancient writings. You need to explore the area to find the ancient writings you need. A location. At the location, fight a site battle scenario. Put 6 additional markers around the table, spread evenly to represent ancient writings. When moving into contact with the marker, roll d6. You will equal below the number of markers you have discovered. So far, you have located the writing. To decipher them requires an action, a +9 scholar test. Alternatively, if you hold the field, you can decipher them at your leisure. Once writings are deciphered, you may retreat safely at any time. So we gotta write that. What was our roll? 44 was the roll. Decipher ancient writings. That's it. Once you arrive at the location, then I roll for the foe. There's failures, there's finds, and there's 2, 4, and 6. You roll in the quest finds table. So that's it. As the quest progresses, the foe will intensify. Yeah. Alright, that's it. We got our quest. We need to go to the Riodan and look up some ancient writings. Okay. We're doing nothing for the rest of this campaign turn, though. However, we do have I'm going to need to write at the beginning of the campaign turn everything that we've got going on. So we got a contract that's at 2. And we're going to have a quest as well available. Yeah, I need a place to keep track of this stuff. Alrighty. Okay, so we were at that. Now we need to go to... So we got a quest, which is pretty cool. That happened during what? The connections? Yep. So somebody said, hey, you got a thing you want to do? Here you go. We need to travel there, though. Alright, where were we? Can we travel? We can travel. With an injured... I think you can travel with an injured dude, yeah? We're not discovering anything. Quest if applicable, rest up, carry out a contract, ride patrol, battle an enemy threat, explore location. So, in the same turn, you would explore the location. You would make a travel roll, get to the area, we'd have to fight the site battle. So we're going to rest up. Which is... Okay, we got what? 2 gold. So we got one gold mark left. Yeah, we got 1 gold mark. We're gonna have to help with the town guard. Anyways, we're gonna rest up. Side adventure. We want our dude to be healthy. Then we're gonna go for a trip to the plains. Rest up. Out for adventure. Don't need to roll it. We're not trading. We don't have any money. We got 1 gold mark. We are not trading. Rest up. Proceed to the resting up chapter. 96. The resting up chapter. That's it. So it counts towards contracts. What are you going to do? Okay, that is it. No experience points, no rewards, nothing. Start the next campaign turn. I need to write down contract. Is that a 2? It's going to be at... The next time it'll be this turn. So my next fight I can do against these guys again. Good, yeah. Alright, well... Let's go with... Trade, and we've got, let's see here, That's it. I think that's everything. We rest up. No trades. End of campaign turn. Yeah. So we'll call it 3 days. We'll say campaign turn's about 3 days if not otherwise stated. But I do need to write down contract. Where are ye? We gotta organize the way I write these turns down. Where's the contract? Chase off group 3. So, contract. Chase off group 2. There it is. Next campaign turn 4. And it'll be the 6th, almost in winter, of Droxy. 16th of Droxy is officially winter. I may make a snowboard for that. Not a snowboard, but a board with snow on it. Warband starts in Summerfall. With Whispers at a 6. Ruin at a 5. And Curse at a 5. Now we need to do connections, or not connections, contracts and quests. So we'll rate contracts first. And that'll be Chase Off Group 1. So it's now or never. Quest is decipher. We have to probably keep track of the number of quests completed. Quest. Yes, decipher. What is it? Quest, and that is Riodan. Decipher ancient writings. Is that what it is? Decipher ancient writings. Ancient writings. One. That's the first one. Okay. That's all we gotta do there. Local event. It'll be a D100 for local events. Wonder how much I missed. Local events. So 27. 27 is. Ugh, come on. Select a random Warband member and item is damaged. Damn you. What is it called? Just damaged equipment? What is that? Equals. We've got 1d8 minus 1 to determine a random. It's going to be in order as written on the next page. I need a d8. I don't have a d8 over here. I need a d8. Oops, easy. Here's a d8. Alright. This minus 1. Reroll zeros. No, just roll this. Reroll 8s. No, reroll zeros. 8 minus 1 is a 7. 7 is the last guy I wrote in, which is Aldred. Aldred has a self bow and a light weapon. On a 1, 2, 3, it's the self bow. Otherwise, it's the light weapon. Ugh. Self bow damaged. Have to get that fixed before we can adventure. Okie dokie. Next up. That's a bummer. Upkeep is next up. Alright, but what if I plan on Alright, so upkeep, and we write, we don't have to roll because we're going to do help the town guard. We do have 1 gold left, so we can do blacksmith for the other action and repair that frickin' self bow that just broke. And then we'd be basically, he's up by the way, and we'd be ready to go, ready to get into a fight. I think we're gonna go investigate that location, is I think what we're gonna do. Upkeep, help the town guard. Yes. Next, healing up. And hey, everybody's healed. Okay, and town actions, or carry out, what is it? Campaign activities. Equals, no, not equals, it's colon. We're going to help the town guard. And visit the blacksmith, is that what it's called? It's called visit the blacksmith? It's just called blacksmith. And repair, self bow. Okay, so help the town guard and we visit the blacksmith. We don't pay any money. Repair self bow. Our 1 gold mark is now 0 gold marks. Okay, so that was our campaign activities. And we're basically back up to fighting readiness here. Although, no, yeah, I'm not going to switch armor. 2 other guys don't have armor. All 3 of my archers are essentially the same, with the exception that Aldred has a 3 movement. He also uses the hero chart for rangers, but we're not going to trade. I don't have any money. It equals not available. Got no money to trade. And we've got connections. Do you run this every single time? Well, we don't have to roll. We don't need to roll. We have a contract and we have a quest. Well, we could hear from our adventurer friend. All right, we're gonna roll it just in case friends send us money. Connections equals 1d100. Really, ideally, we want 41 through 55. Nope, 32, nothing. That is an A. Not available. Decide your adventure. That is just an equals. Alright, we are going to explore location in order to complete our first part of the quest. Which means we're heading to the Riodan. Oh boy. Going to the grasslands. I don't need a new board, but I'm probably going to need more different terrain. Going to the grasslands. I think I just got to explore the location. Let's look up the contract or the quest real quick. Let's make sure I understand it. You need to explore the area to find the ancient writings you need. At the location, find a site battle scenario. So, for explore the location, we're going to travel to the Riodan. We're going to travel. Not unexplored location. It's going to be called a campaign location. That's all I got for it. And we'll use that, a symbol of a C on the map. It's right in the Riodan in the top right corner of those little, right in the top center. Not top right, near the river bend. Campaign location. Right in the Riodan. We will just call it campaign location. Nope. Q. It needs to be a Q because it's a quest location, not a campaign location. Fool. It'll be a Q, quest location. I'll just write quest. Notes. Okay, so in the Riodan Plains there's the quest location we need to explore. So that's what we're going to do for our activity. Explore location. I need to go to that. Explore location. Select a location on your region map that you wish to visit. Anything else? Okay. This option requires travel first if you are not in the same map area. We are not. Explore a location. The Riodan. Plains. I like calling it just the Riodan. Travel. That is 1-on-1. Travel event. Travel, oh hold on, I'll write travel to. Travel to the Riodan Plains. Riodan Plains. Quest location. That's what it's called, I guess. Traveling event table. Travel event table. $1D100 equals. Okay. Got a travel event table we gotta roll on. Please take it easy on me. Got a 2.
Absolutely nothing. That's what I like. 2. NA. We'll just call it NA. I don't need to write that out. NA. So no travel event. Wonderful. No travel event. There's no town here. Okay. And we need to decipher ancient writings. You need to explore the area and find ancient writings. Fight a site battle scenario. For an additional D6 markers. That's it. Just fight. That's it. Quest foe. Okay. Now we need to do quest foe. Quest enemies are always chosen from the threat tables unused by the campaign region. Write down the 5 threats that were not selected when setting up the campaign, and randomly select one that you have not faced during the quest. If you have already encountered each threat, the remaining task will be against foes from the site battle table. Note that quest scenarios cannot also be counted as threat scenarios for the purpose of earning adventure points. You do not generate specific goal and do not receive normal. You don't get normal, but why am I doing a quest then? Okay, so you get talents. That's pretty cool. Get some cool stuff. Alright. Probably should have done something else, but I like this. This will do. Alright, so we need to quest foe equals. We gotta roll 1d6 minus 1 equals. So now we're gonna roll. Choose the foes we haven't used in order as they are written in the book. So we've got we'll just make the roll and then I'll find it. So it looks like the Ruin Within is the first one. Well, let's look at the when you determine a region one. We'll use that. Which is starting a campaign. Yeah, here we go. I think that's also in the order. So, D6 minus 1. Reroll a 0. I reroll zeros. 5 minus 1 is a 4. So, Whispers, I'm using Ruins Within. That's 1. Whispers from Beyond is 2. Gnawing Horde is a 1. Iceheart Court is 2. Duskling Warband would be 3. Oldest Kin, 4. Oldest Kin. Wonderful. That's just wonderful. Lizard Folk. Right near the river. They're going to be river lizard folk. For sure. For sure. I have a feeling that they're going to be very difficult. Site battle. 6 exploration markers. A number of things waiting to be found. Place 1 exploration marker. Get the objective. Fight your battle. Retreat. There's traps. Jesus. Site battles are very, very complex. So determining the enemy, it's the Oldest Kin. Quest foe, Oldest Kin. And I think we just go ahead and start rolling what we're facing here. I don't see why we wouldn't. I'm looking at site battles, and I don't see Let's read it. Night battles use new mechanics that aren't found in regular encounters. Of course they do. Deployment is something. Markers, extra markers. The first move. Move them a single normal move, then roll. Any foes added through this roll are unaware and act as sentries. Just bring it down the job, blah blah blah. Now place the enemy on the table. Divide the enemy into 3 groups, 3 figures each. With any leftover figures forming one smaller group. For each group, place by a random exclamation marker. These foes are unaware. Any unknown enemy markers should be placed. It can be unknown enemy markers. Objective. Warband counts as achieving the objective if they clear at least 3 exclamation markers. Okay. Fight your battle. Cramped conditions. Sight battles. Sight battles are fought in tight conditions where foes could lurk behind any corner. All base movement rates are reduced by 1, except for enemies with the crawling trait. Warband figures cannot dash during a sight battle. Enemies can dash only if they have crawling. No ranged attack may exceed 8 inches. This is a dungeon fight. Or indoors, anyways. Once an enemy becomes aware, they remain so. For this battle will not revert to patrolling or standing sentry. Start of the first enemy action. So, how many guys are in this? Is there a set number of enemies? No. So I roll normally for enemies, and then there's all kinds of crazy things I gotta do. Jesus. There's a lot going on with this. It's like trap table. Character, where does it say there's a trap? Oh, sight finds. Enemies do not interact with markers. Warband members 3 inches line of sight can roll and see what it is. And then things happen. Cool. Okay. Okay. Well, we need to determine our enemy. And we need to roll on Crazy Lizard Folk table. Slow moving. They have the Brave trait. They're immune to forms of poison. Yeah, when the ranged weapons, 9-inch range, finds one to the thrower, can add their combat skill. They move. Thrower may move and add their combat skill to attack roll. Moving over half speed prevents range attacks as normal. Clad in silver scales and silver. Oldest kin. Things retain valuables. Smooth table. Increase the value by 1 if you can get valuables. Okay. So, we need to roll the oldest kin table. Oldest kin. I need to figure out who they are. So that'll be 1d100 equals. Who are we facing? 54. Lower would have been better. Raider Brood. Toughness 4. No combat bonus. That's a good thing. 1 armor, 3 javelins. Okay. Crawling and ranged attacks have poison. Okay. Okay. Okay, Raider Brood. Now when I did this encounter, let's see, Raider Brood. So, organized robbers, enemy numbers. So what page is that on? After this? Before this. after this, I gotta find where do I roll. Ah, here we go. Terrain theme. Do I roll that after? Yeah, so I can make it a dungeon. I'd probably make it a cave, if anything. Which it just so happens I have cave stuff printed, I just need to paint it. That'd be handy. I could see just folk being in a cave. Makes sense to me. Okay. Need to roll number of enemies. Oh, here we go. Battle encounter. Determine the foe. Already did. Determine the numbers. Roll 2d6. Pick the highest dice. Add the modifier. Okay. So, enemy number. Wouldn't it be wonderful if it was Snake Eyes? I only had to fight 3 of these fucking things. I could use a win. Could use a win here. Alright, what do we got? That's 5, almost like a noggin. I did, but it's still 5. So 5 and 4. That is 5 plus 2 equals 7. Okay, 7. Now we gotta roll. Defensive battle raid on a hideout. No bonuses or minuses. We're facing 7. Enemy armaments. 7 enemies. Three javelin throwers. Enemy armament. Enemy armament. That's nothing. Determine enemy leadership. How did I write that before? Leadership. I just wrote leadership. Leadership equals, and that is a D100 roll. This is an addition. If we can roll less than a 25, or 25 or less, we won't be outnumbered by these frickin' toughness 4 lizard folk. 28. Sergeant. Not as bad. Sergeant just gets a +1 toughness. 5! He's gonna have a 5 toughness. So 28. Sergeant. Okay. So no unique foes, none of that nonsense. Now we do terrain theme. But we're playing a site battle, so we're just gonna call it a dungeon. Any theme NA. That's it. That's it. Alright, I think we're done. Okay, so we're going to call it there. I've been streaming for quite a while, almost 4 hours. Go ahead and call it. Next encounter is against 8 lizard folk, and probably going to be in a cavern.
because it is a site battle and I need sort of a dungeony feel. So it'll be 8 lizard folk in a cavern. So we'll go ahead and stop the stream, and I will see who I see on Wednesday for Hobby Update. Thanks for stopping by for anybody who did.